Hey listeners, it's Sarah the Bombtrack Lima, and with me today is
Anthony Tank Mansfield.
and this
Tarzan. He's like, let's fucking go, motherfucker.
is What You Into.
What you into? What you into?
All right, we're officially recording. How's this? Do you give the intro this week, I guess?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
in. I'm in. Hey listeners, welcome to the basement. It's a very special week in the basement because I am taking control of the microphone. This is my third time on the podcast. That puts me in the Dale Earnhardt Club.
Welcome to the Dale Earnhardt Club.
Honored to be here. Honored to be here. And we're celebrating a very cool anniversary.
Yeah, so this was supposed to be episode 100, but then the entire thing happened with high grain, so we had to push pause on this, but this was supposed to be the 100th episode.
This was supposed to be the 100th episode. It's the 100 and
8th, I think, maybe? Actually, well, hold on, wait a second. It is because the podcast with Dylan will go up tomorrow. I believe that is 108 because I just got done talking to Lauren Strecker. Yeah, so 108 will be dropping tomorrow with Dylan, and then this will be 109. So we're 9 weeks late.
I love it. It's the perfect time. For me, it is, I want to say, almost the exact anniversary of the very first time I was on the show with you. So as we've been talking back and forth, as you all know, I have the unofficial role of the anthropologist of What You Into.
You are the show's anthropologist, yes.
Consistent listener, definitely somebody who thinks about human nature. So a podcast that focuses on the human stories between hobbies and collections is fascinating to me. And Tank's just my dear friend. I think the man can bump his gums. He's definitely got chops as a podcast host, and it's been fun to watch him grow. So this is a chance for us to navel gaze a little bit and get anthropological with both Tank and the show.
Yeah, so this is the first time I've ever been interviewed on the show, and it's also the first ever clip show. We've never done a clip show before, so you went and have curated a playlist of things that happened on past episodes that you want to talk about or get back into. I have not seen the list. I have no clue what you're going to throw at me from over 100 episodes of What You Into.
On some, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, I know that I've had my moments where I've texted Tank, and probably a lot of other listeners have too, in the middle of listening to something where I'm just so delighted by, or like ignited on one level or another by what's on the mic. And so I've pulled some of those out and given things that let Tank react to them. Just, I think this is kind of a chance to summarize, like, over 2 years of podcasting, what's changed? What have you gotten into? What have all of us gotten into as a result of the podcast? What have we learned? What have we learned about Tank?
The cultural impact of What You Into, is that what we're discussing right now?
Yeah, you now have like a real body of work. It actually makes me laugh a little bit when we went 27 episodes in and did, like, the last time we did this, because it was so...
It was very
nascent.
It was very new. It was very new. Yeah, but we did get into this when you did the live podcast at Fretboard with me. And we started kind of you brought up kind of the study of What You Into and like breaking down hobbies, collectors, and then getting into why people collect and all that. And it has been interesting to see what tracks across the landscape of different things, because a lot of times collecting is really, the rules of collecting stay the same. It's just what you collect is different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. And so it'll be fun to hear. We can both reflect. I certainly have reflections on my own pontifications back then, but I want to hear what you think about what we both said, and we'll get into that. But first, like, yeah, what's up, man? Like, I feel a little bit. It's funny. I came in last night. We hung out with a bunch of Derby friends last night, so we got nice and lubed up in terms of we're riding the. I'm actually going hair of the dog today and still enjoying a beer in the basement. When in the basement, you got to do it.
Yeah, we did hit the Silverton bar crawl.
Yeah,
I was crippled this morning.
He was in a rough way. There's some cute pictures of him and Jetty Jet snoozing on the couch together, both of them snoring away. But in a sense, you sort of curated an experience for us last night.
Oh, with the bar crawl?
How many did we hit?
In total, we hit 6. So there was 6
Goddamn,
bars,
son.
and we did, but and honestly, 5 out of the 6 pretty good.
Still got it.
There was definitely some fun stuff happening at every bar. MVP.
Couple bars that have been mentioned on the show before.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you've mentioned. I mean, should we say? Can we say their names or?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, I don't have a problem.
I feel like you've definitely mentioned Chicken on the Run before.
I've been the Chicken on the Run, and I won't. And the first time I went,
Obviously
I was
High Grain.
Yeah, High Grain. Yeah. First time, I've been to Silverton Cafe before, but first time to Brothers. Brothers was fun.
So good. Music was so good.
The music was good. And then Silverton Cafe had a live band and bright lights. That was a lot to take in. And then ending up at MVP, which is the most sports bar you'll ever go to that's not a chain sports bar.
It was surprisingly delightful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun night. But we were hanging out last night, and I felt like I know Tank likes to keep things organic on his podcast, so like there was a lot of stuff I just didn't mention or didn't catch up with you on. So now is a little bit of a chance to catch up too, so that I didn't want to like rehash stuff that we had already talked about.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I don't know what's new. What's turning your crank these days?
The show, I think, is the main thing that's turning my crank. Just booking it weekly and then getting stuff out. And right now doing art stuff. I recently got into working with fluorescent markers. I always say that word wrong.
Fluorescent?
Fluorescent. Yeah, there we go. Why is that so fucking hard?
I don't know. Some words just trip you up.
I don't know. But I'm excited because it's got like a black light effect to it. So now I'm drawing more stuff in that vein, and it's fun. And supposedly I got some projects coming up, but right now I'm in the working with different people. People have different email schedules. So we've talked about it. We just haven't officially signed anything yet. So I'm kind of waiting on something coming up.
Sick, dude.
Yep.
Would you ever consider a blacklight show?
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be awesome.
fun.
That'd be way fun, right? Like,
Yeah.
all you got to do is like change the light bulbs out, and boom, you get a total party atmosphere.
I like that.
Yeah.
That sounds great. What am I into lately?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Mostly training. So
Training for what?
so if you were to hit up my IG right now, you wouldn't really see a lot of action. There's not much going on there, but I do a couple of different sports, and from the last time that I was on the show, I still cave, I still backpack, I still climb, but I do long rope stuff as well, and long rope stuff is associated with vertical caving. Just to give you guys a little preview of what's going on in the room right now, Tank just took off his shoe, and he's like rubbing toe lint from between his toes. We like to make ourselves at home here in the basement.
This is the reason why it's not a visual podcast. That's the whole point. So the listener doesn't have to see me rubbing my feet on camera.
We're letting you in today, listener.
Yeah,
we're opening up the vault. We're bringing out some super special vault material that you may or may not have heard. And yeah, we're pulling back the curtain. We're opening the window. Another visual, I'm drinking out of a sweet Friday the 13th themed mug with
nice.
A kind of adorable Jason head, and there's a machete that forms the handle of it. I heard it's a shout out to Dave F. and Powell.
Dave F. and Powell hooked me up with it. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's fucking sweet.
What are you plugging right now? Like you got plugs for the show?
Well, I'll finish the long rope team thing is kind of a plug.
Okay.
This is the exciting endeavor I'm in now. So like long rope is like it's the vertical part of vertical caving. You do rappel on a rappel rack. A rappel rack is like a series of bars that you use to create tension on a rope as you descend. And you support yourself with a harness. And that's a cool way to drop into pits and caves, but also like cliffs and canyons.
Terrifying.
Right? And then there's an ascending set that is what you use to climb out of a cave or canyon. And that could be used in canyoneering too. And that set has a couple of different ties into a rope that connects to your harness seat, and you use that to get out so that you're not just climbing on a rope the way you would with rock climbing. You need a little more protection because you have a longer way to go. So my team actually just found out that some of us are going to be selected to be able to rappel and ascend El Cap, and that's in Yosemite. So that'll be a really, really cool thing to do. We're doing that in July of 2024, and we're already training for it, working on getting the gear all set up. All of us need certain skill sets to be able to do that. We use like a whole rope haul system because that's a 2650 foot rappel. So it's definitely qualifies as an expedition. It's the first one that I've ever gotten to be a part of, and I'm fucking stoked and not really scared. Actually, just really, really excited.
I would be scared for you. This all sounds terrifying. There's definitely horror movies that open up with this premise.
This one, I think, I mean, it's a little more open, so we've got that going for us. But yeah, we talked a little bit on the last time, 2 years ago when I was on the show, we talked about how pretty much every caving scenario that you imagine can turn into the descent.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to imagine.
Obviously, there's bat creatures underneath the ground that we are not meant to interact with. And this is where you're tempting fate.
Yeah. But it'll be, there's a lot of people who are working really hard to make sure that there are as few variables that are uncontrollable as possible, and we have a lot of time to level up, so it's consistency and staying in tune with that. Other than that, I'm back in Ohio. I mean, that's the other new plug.
Wait, hold on, time out. How long would this take to get up El Cap?
That will take a while. It really depends on the climber, but it can take 2 to 4 hours to do an ascent. So we actually do the ascents 24 hours a day, and we usually, because it's going to be July, we'll do them at night. So we'll be able to see like the lights of the valley or not. It'll be kind of a dark sky area
You're gonna
in
be
some ways.
climbing in the dark.
Yes. Yeah, so I guess it's
Jesus
cave like after all.
Christ.
Yeah, there you go.
God, why do you do this?
I think
It's so terrifying.
definitely the thrill. And like to do something well, we talked about this too, and I was gonna come back to this one if we get there in discussion later. But it's like this one's more about me than it is about you. Although, okay, I'm all over the place. Fear,
Yeah.
being able to do something that you're not quite 100% sure if you did it right now, you'd be successful. For me, those are like the things in my life that I'm the most interested in running toward. And
Don't like this.
that I like that because it makes me feel like I'm not going to be bored after a while, I guess. I think there's just something about me that chases that.
Well, that makes one of us. I watch a lot of terrifying shit on a regular basis, both real and fictional, and therefore I'm good. I like my comfortable basement. I like my couch. I'm a big fan of hoodies, like just being kind of warm. This is great. So thank you for holding down the fear end of the spectrum as I sit on my lazy ass and chill.
My goal is always to have new shit to talk about on What You Into.
That's true. Okay,
bring some What You Into strange into the room.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, all the what you into strange.
You don't have any problems with bringing that in yourself, though, man. You're the male Black Widow, man. We need there's got to be a better portmanteau for that.
What are you talking about?
Mr. Widow. I don't know, just luring hobbyist collectors and fans into your basement den to tell cool stories and shit about what they do.
All right, okay, I'm getting it now. Sorry, I thought you meant I kill hobbies, and I was like, wait, what am I doing?
You're not a hobby killer.
Or I thought I was usually Black Widow. There was the female pool player that was the Black Widow, and that's what I also thought about. I'm like a hot lady that's really good at pool.
Yes.
Awesome. Yes. All right, cool. I'll take it.
Scintillating.
That's.
Y'all should see him with a Q, y'all.
That's me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, those are my plugs. I don't know. That's kind of what's new with me.
Those are your plugs.
Yeah, I don't really have anything coming out into the world for distro anytime soon. So
okay.
I've got some those are my ongoing projects.
Right on. Well, is there a place people can find you at on social media or anything?
Thank you for reminding me.
There you go.
I'm at Bombtrack on Instagram.
There you go.
And right now, what you'll see if you go there is a sweet little photo of Jet just looking so tired. Like she had the busiest, craziest night on Friday night. Really, it was all of her humans, but
yeah, no, she was very chill. I mean, she was napping, then we came home, and then I immediately went to bed, then she could get back to sleep. She's had a pretty good run.
Yeah. She's a good hangover companion.
Oh, she definitely is. Yes.
The other funny coda that happened today at the Mansfield Bishop House was that so Print, his wife,
My wife.
which is also one of the frequents of the show.
Is Borat quoting?
Yeah, yeah. You
Well,
can't say it
I
without.
was a white guy that grew up at the beginning of the internet. That's how we didn't have memes back then. We just had like Step Brothers and Borat.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
and Ron Burgundy and
what
like
it takes to be culturally conversant.
yeah, and just hitting those quotes all the
Yeah.
time. That was the high point of humor in 2007.
Well, here we are.
Yeah.
Love us or leave us, listeners. Print replaced the couch upstairs, and so some dude showed up at 10 to haul it off today. So there's like a brief window where they're between couches. That would have been the couch that you would have been face planted on.
That would have been yeah, but,
But-
it's gone.
Yeah,
Now we just have an empty living room, which is creepy looking.
not for much longer, but
No, at 4:00 today, new couch coming in.
you hear it here first.
Breaking couch news.
Yeah, and everybody knows your Instagram handle, but if you want to plug it one more time, please do.
At Neil to No One on Instagram. The website is neiltoknoone.com. And if you're in the Cincinnati area, so last night we did go to High Grain. They are completely sold out of all the Rancid Rabbit Hole cans. So you can't buy them there. So there might be some in distribution out in Cincinnati. Like the Root Cellar I went through this week. They have some of them. I'm guessing Cappy's probably got some, and Jungle Gems. So you might be able to find it out in the area, but on the whole, it's starting to go away. They also do still have it on draft at High Grain. So get it while you can because it's about to go bye-bye soon.
I had it last night. I loved it. I also really liked being at High Grain, just thinking about all the staff being interviewed. I've enjoyed that series. It was a lot of fun.
They're very cool people, and I like hanging out there now because like everybody is nice, like knows me and is nice to me, and I get to like be nice to them and stuff. It's pretty cool.
It's always great to have a place where folks know you and are happy to see you.
Cheers was really right about that shit.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah, if you have like a good local bar that you can go to and people are stoked to see you, at that, fuck yeah, dude.
It's a good thing.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a haiku or not, but it should be.
It's got a. I learned a few things about haikus recently. Just we're doing so I work in exhibits, folks, listeners. I work at a different place. I don't work at the Smithsonian anymore. Now I work at an exhibit firm in Columbus. It's really fun.
Oh yeah,
Still
yeah.
working with museums. Now working with brands as well, and zoos and aquariums. And some of the brand stuff.
Zoos and aquariums.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
The themed entertainment stuff is kind of wild too. It's just a slightly bigger scale. But now I don't remember why I was talking about that.
No, it's
Yeah.
very cool. Oh, wait, how long have you been in Columbus now?
I've been in Columbus for 6 months.
6 months?
Yeah, and I was intending to be in Columbus for a little while and then move to North Carolina. But I decided to hold off on that because it was just feeling really good to be back in Ohio and to just feel like I sort of understand this place. So I'm exploring a new city, but I'm still close enough to Cincinnati to cheat and come down and see all my friends, which is nice.
Sure, we have train derailments and our stance towards abortion rights. But hey, Ohio.
There is that. Yeah, that's true. Right?
That's how we get people to come here.
Right.
We're like, hey, women, meh, we lose out a little bit, but it's Ohio.
To that, I have to say,
Do it. Do
Yeah,
it.
do it.
Kill me.
Kill me.
Do it. I'm here.
Yeah,
Do it. Do it now.
this is the clip episode, folks. So we're just gonna call back some great moments that just feel right.
I like that. I've never been to a clip show before. I like that we have drops. This is fun.
We'll see how well they can work throughout. Everybody, that I don't have my own podcast, so
So
we'll see
yeah,
how these
no,
cues go.
I'm excited to see how many drops you hit us with throughout this.
We'll see how it works out. Should we get into it?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
fucking
jump
go.
into the show.
As Cody would say, let's fucking go, motherfucker. Maybe that was Paul. Was that Paul?
I think that was Paul.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
All right. Well, they're both hilarious.
Yeah, they're
That
both
was-
good dudes.
Yeah. So we already know how you got into the podcast, and we've heard that story a few times. And we've heard the bent of like when you're talking to folks that you would rather hear what makes them passionate, what makes them happy, than what they quote unquote do.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm curious for you, it's been 2 years. Like, what did you think asking these questions would show you, or what did you think this would be? And where has that taken you? Like, what has it turned out to be?
I'm a lifelong learner. I just like to discover things and learn about stuff. And so that was, the podcast was there for a couple reasons. One, to scratch that itch, but then also kind of my recovery from being isolated during 2020, with like just not being around people for that year and some change into 2021. And so it was really just a chance to get back to talking to people again. I was really clunky in conversation the first 6 months where I was like back out in society and around people again. Like my shit was just off. And the podcast really helped me to even back out and figure out how to do in-face conversation again without the weird pause of Zoom. So that's one, and that's the second thing. So yeah, basically that's it. It's like I wanted to talk to people. I like being on podcasts, like listening to podcasts, and and I wanted to create a show that had a different angle than a lot of podcasts, because I didn't want to get stuck in like the idea of like, oh, it's just a hang, It's like, yeah, but there's a lot of shows that are just a hang, and there's a lot more famous people that are doing those shows. So you're going to listen to, proven funny, famous people hang out together, as opposed to this where it's like, I need an angle. And so that's what birthed What You Into.
Nice. And how did you think it would feel or be? Like, what did you think it would be like having people in the basement?
I just always wanted it to be a fun hang, and I really the thing I wanted in the back of my head was I wanted the show to be funny, and there's definitely episodes that aren't funny. Like it gets very serious sometimes, but on the whole, I wanted to try to be funny first. Like just try to figure out an angle to where we could make this entertaining and something that was a stress reliever for people, but at the same time was also informative and entertaining. I kind of, I guess in a way, like not, it's not the same because it's not a political show, but kind of like the idea of like the Daily Show with Jon Stewart, like how it was back then, where like Stewart was funny, but yet he was still informative and intelligent. Like that was always kind of the thing that I wanted the show to be, to go in that direction. We're scratching both itches at the same time.
What are some of your other favorite hosts? Either of podcasts or shows or.
I don't know. I don't listen to like a lot of most of the podcasts I listen to are comedy podcasts. So I don't know if I'd like call them hosts, because they're kind of more just kind of riffing. But yeah. So I'm not quite sure, as far as that goes, like how I would answer it, because I don't really like have any like it's not like I'm listening to like hardcore history where it's like there is like a legit host. Like I've heard a few episodes, but it's never like, oh, I like the way this guy commands the podcast or directs it. And I think that's also just something about podcasts, how it is a pretty open format, and you can kind of do what you want to do. Like it can be an interview, or it can be a hang, or it can be like a history podcast. Which I think that would maybe be the podcast I would do after this one, would be some kind of history thing, because again, it scratches the learning itch. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of, it's a very open thing. Man, it's weird being interviewed. It is so weird being on the other side of this.
You're doing great.
I feel like I'm just like constantly talking. Please jump in and break up what I'm saying, because I just feel like I'm going on rants.
No, you're great. I enjoy shows that have humor too, and for me, I think about it. I like being on mic, and I enjoy like performing and presenting too. I don't have a podcast, but I like it when I get tapped to do stuff like this. Mm-hmm. And I have the same reflection when I listen to myself. I'm like, uh-oh, it sounds like I'm doing a lot of the talking. So I think that's a natural thing. But I was thinking about what you were saying about the learning side, and also knowing that you're a teacher, a former teacher, mm-hmm. and still a teacher on many levels, because you assist teachers in mm-hmm. what they're trying to do for their classes. And I'm wondering if you used to bring humor into the classroom a lot, if that was like a part of your style there too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm a big believer in like constructivism. So it's the idea of a learning style where you as the instructor are constantly asking questions to the people in the room, because you can't, like, even the best talkers in the world, like, can only go about like 15 minutes non-interrupted before people start to tune out. Like that's why when you see somebody do like a comedy hour, like if you see somebody, like Chris Rock just recently put out, I don't know, it was like a 45 minutes to an hour, but like, people like him, or Bill Burr, Shane Gillis, if you're like Louis C.K., like all these people that, can make an hour where you actually pay attention to them and they're not interrupting. It's just them talking. That's huge. But most people aren't at that level. They're not good enough to just go that long uninterrupted. And so that was just like a big thing in my classroom, is just constantly asking questions to people to get them to interact in with the discussion. So that way they didn't get bored and just like, checking on their phone or go to sleep or whatever. But then also trying to make stuff humorous too. Cause like, people remember stuff that's funny, and people also remember stuff through song. It's the reason like the ABC song is a fucking song.
Songs are amazing.
Yeah. It makes you retain it. So if you can, do little things to get people to click and retain things, whether it be through rhythm or through humor, both work, and they're both important.
So did you ever use song in class?
In a funny way. Like, yeah, I would sing stuff, but it would be in my awful off key. It was like intentionally bad, because I'm not a singer, nor do I pretend to be. But yeah, but no, I didn't like make up raps or anything for the students to like learn their, principles and elements of design.
This is gonna like tilt you. And I think this is a good power move for me as the interviewer at the beginning of the interview. But like, I feel like Red Hot Chili Peppers would be the perfect. I feel like they would be the perfect teaching tool, because it's just saying stuff in a semi-monotone, repetitive voice. And I mean, go ahead and give us one of your classic.
Well, it's funny you say this, because we literally, so the listener's going to hear.
Listeners, he hates Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I do.
It's a through line.
Well, I really.
Part of this is about calling out his through lines, and that's a fucking through line. There's no question.
I just wish that Anthony Kiedis wasn't in that band. Like, if somebody else could just stand in for Anthony Kiedis, like, why can they not do like a Red Hot Chili Peppers thing like they did with Audio Slave, where it was Rage Against the Machine plus Chris Cornell?
That'd be sweet.
Like,
yeah.
Can we just have like, well, I guess
Eddie Vedder. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I was
going
to say, like, we can't use Chris Cornell, and we also can't use Scott Weiland, because that
thumbs down.
Yeah. Actually, no. This is like now. This is making me realize that
How about Gwen Stefani? Let's really go for something totally out there.
She's gonna get canceled at some point.
It's only a
You're not allowed to just like keep 4 Asian women around you as a fashion staple in 2023. Like back in 2005, apparently that was cool, but now I feel like we can't have her around, because she's gonna get retroactively canceled.
She's gotten away with way too much. I mean, let's just think about like she made a fucking hook off of "Lonely Goat Herd" from The Sound of Music.
Yeah,
who gets away with that? Her, like the playground like sing song shtick. I mean, it creates genuine earworms, but like you can only do it's like the rule of 3. Like if you do it more, she's like been fouling off strike 3 for like 5 years at this point.
Yeah. Well, I guess when you have white lady privilege, you can do that. Woo, listener, what am I going to hit you with next?
Hey.
Earlier, I was hitting you with abortions. Now I'm making fun of Democratic white ladies. Where do I fall on the political spectrum? Who knows?
We're going to find out. All right, so let's go into, since you're lifelong learning is a good segue, because which was back a ways, admittedly, but like we've been talking about teaching, we've been talking about retention. This is just me getting to share with you a little bit. So I made a list of new words that I learned on the podcast.
New words you learned on the podcast?
Oh yeah. All right.
What new words did you learn on the podcast?
All right. So here, the first one, and I want to see how many of these. I don't remember if this one came from you, and I didn't go back and find it. Chud.
Chud? Oh, chud is like the little creatures that live underground.
It was used to describe Jason. It was the episode with Justin Stewart 3000 and Jamie Filer.
Nice.
And so I think that's episode 64. And yeah, I think Jason was described as a chud. Is it because he basically lies there in the earth?
He lies dormant underground, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
That could be a reason.
So I had to look that one up, and there were several different definitions, but like Stay Hip had something like that.
Okay.
I feel like I think it's an acronym. Somebody's shouting in their car right now.
Well, there's definitely like a horror movie that's like cellar something dwelling. There's definitely a movie called Chud.
Oh,
and that's
Underground Dweller.
Yeah,
something
yeah,
Underground
something.
Dweller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that was a first. So I was grateful to have that.
So you were introduced to Chuds. Awesome.
I mean, listeners, some people will be super fucking annoyed by this, and some people will be delighted by it. But I happen to have quite a vocabulary. So when I say that I learned some new stuff and new words, like,
it's a big deal.
Words are kind of my thing. All right. Here's another one. So this one is a Justin Davis. You can already guess what it's going to be.
It's about strippers.
It was during that episode. What phrase had I never heard before?
I'm not sure. Laser buttholes?
Finger blasted.
Finger blasting?
Had not heard that
not heard
phrase.
finger
I
blasting?
mean, it was. I immediately knew what it was. By the way, Justin, if you're listening, I was listening to that with my mom. She's a delightful woman.
She got hit with finger blasting?
She was, yeah. So thank you for that. We had a extensive conversation. My mom and I have a, we talk about a lot of things, so that was fine for us. We did enjoy that episode. We laughed a lot. It was a really fun episode. Good job to all three participants. All right, so this one gets mentioned all the time. It's kind of funny because it gets thrown around very casually. Eventually, you did define it.
Okay.
Discogs.
Discogs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just like wrinkled his nose like, bitch.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Discogs is an app that I use to track my vinyl collection, which I wish all my collections had an app. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I can actually categorize stuff.
Yeah. How many would you use? One meta app for all of them, or would you use?
No, I would
separate
like
apps?
each collection to have its own app. I need like a beer glass app,
Cool.
a baseball cap app. I need all the apps.
The Cap app.
Yes, cap app.
Just
Yep,
call it
see
Cap.
right there, cap app.
Like you do have. I mean, I'm thinking now about what curation apps do you actually have on your phone? What collection apps do you have? I mean, you surely have. You have. What the hell is the beer one called?
Oh,
Untapped.
Yeah,
Untapped.
Yeah, Untapped. Yeah, I got Untapped. Yeah, I really do think it is just Discogs and Untapped, because I don't have anything for video games and I don't have anything for my movie collection. Although I gotta figure there has to be a movie collection app out there because I would love to just like have like all my Blu-rays in one spot. Listener, if you know of a DVD or any kind of movie tracking app, DM me. Let me know.
Yeah, hit them up. And then the last thing, this is more of a concept, and it was a name that I had heard again and again and again living in Cincinnati, but I actually didn't know who Marge Schott was
Oh, Marge Schott.
until the episode with you
And Billy
interviewing Print.
DeVore. Oh, with Print.
I was thinking of Print. Yeah, that one made me laugh a lot, actually. So I'm going to play that clip
Okay.
and then have you react to it.
All right, nice.
I mean,
Rain.
just saying it out loud right now, she sounds like a character from Eastbound and
I
Down.
know.
Like, it does sound like, season 7, Kenny Powers goes back to the major
Right.
leagues, and he ends up playing for this woman.
Right.
Yeah, but no, this was a real human being that really existed in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah, it just seemed like such a faraway place at the time.
As the owner of a sports team, do you model yourself after Marge Schott?
Absolutely not. I try to be the anti-Marge Shot as much as possible. Although I do remember, like, when CRG first started, like, I suggested that somebody take the name Marge Shotgun, and I'm so glad no one took me up on that suggestion.
I would have.
I was very into, like, skaters having Cincinnati-inspired names, and, yeah,
I would have been
that now.
I would also like to throw out there Marge doing shots.
Ooh, that would have been good.
Yeah,
Marge shot glass.
Yeah, Marge taking shots.
Yeah.
There you go.
Perfect. So that was my intro to it, and it makes me laugh because this name is like on galleries all around town.
Yeah, and how they've not made a Marge Schott biopic yet is beyond me
Oh my
because
God.
she is perfect for it. She was a total train wreck.
Yeah.
She was like number one, like she was the first woman to ever own a professional sports team. And then they go on and they win the World Series. Last time the Reds won the World Series was being owned by Marge Schott. You know why? Because she just said, I don't really understand any of this. I'm just going to here's money. And I'm going to give it to people that know what the fuck they're doing. And they're going to set that up. And then I'm going to sit up here and I'm going to chain smoke and be racist and let my gigantic St. Bernard just like shit all over a field. And it worked.
That would be a phenomenal biopic. Prince should write the screenplay for that.
Somebody should.
Holy moly. It's like just thinking about her character too. I mean, or her actual person. Like just really I don't know. It makes me wonder if like Major League was actually comedically based off of her.
Yeah, I mean, like, because it does run that parallel of in Major League, the wife gets the team after the
Right.
husband
I guess
dies.
that's it,
But
probably.
that's kind of it
Okay.
because yeah, like Marge Schott was definitely not a former like go-go dancer or whatever the lady is in the film, and and yeah, again, Marge Schott was like, I don't know, I just want us to win, and they were competitive. Unlike today, fucking Castellinis with their bullshit and not putting any money into this team.
It's true that over meddling can really not only kill the buzz of the organization, whatever the organization is. And I mean, you got to get out of people's way and let them do their thing.
Well, and also what hurts it is there's no regulation of money in Major League Baseball whatsoever. So because at least in football, there is a salary cap, which is good. But at this point, in baseball, you almost need like a salary, like a level that you must spend on your team, because it's amazing. Like, it's nuts how many teams, one player is almost on par with how much the Reds spend on all their players combined. Like, it's insane that just how little money they're putting into this team, and just they're not competitive at all.
Well, actually, it's interesting. Like in parallel, Hannah Gentry, we were hanging out with Gentry McGuire. How many time guest at this point? 3 or 4 time guest? Three time guest as well.
I think also a Dale Earnhardt member.
Dale Earnhardt. So she was saying that she's enjoyed Formula One this last year because they also capped their expenditures so that it was a little bit more level of a playing field, even though it's like a fucking $1 million.
Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah.
Situation, and she said that was fun for her to watch. So
yeah, I like when small market teams have are competitive, and I mean the NFL does that with a salary cap, and then also the way it's regulated about what you can and can't do with your money. Like it really does force you to get the best people to fit into your system to make a competitive team, and that can change year to year as opposed to something like college football or baseball, where it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same old people every time.
True. It's a balance. I mean, there are also times. What I've noticed about sports is that when you're super into something and like deep into the system, you'll find any way to game whatever rules and caps are in place anyway. Thinking about things like steroids, thinking about all the ways that people try to, if not cheat, like push to the very edge.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be the creative flex, but I don't know. Some systems aren't, some caps and constraints can be nice. All right. Different direction.
Okay.
So maybe not that different of a direction. Those are the things that I learned.
Okay.
Those are some of the new things. I mean, there's been plenty of episodes where I had absolutely zero familiarity, but like, what about you? What are some of the wildest things that absolutely fucking blew your mind on the podcast that you learned, surprised you?
I think the weirdest one for me was the Max Mullerin episode, where like that dude literally has a second room in his house for his collection of animals. Like that really, I always think back on that episode just because it was just such a crazy thing to me, because we have Jet, that's it. And like, I could see maybe getting, fish at some point, something like that. But this man has a full on, like, lizards and snakes and fucking, he's got a shrimp breeding program and like scorpions.
The shrimp stories were pretty awesome.
Yeah, all this crazy shit. That one really wigged me out. I was like, I don't get this at all. And that one always sticks with me as far as a very memorable episode.
We're definitely going to go back to Max. I got something to bring back for Max. He was such a doll too. He like reached out to me after the one we did at Fretboard, and he was like, "That was really interesting." It was a cool episode. I enjoyed it. I didn't know anything about the things that he was describing.
No, and he was also super memorable because like after the episode, something that does happen is people hang out, and like it's kind of weird because like I don't know. This is something that me and Lauren have had to talk about, especially now because I'm generally recording at this point on weeknights, so it's not like I got to wake up for work the next day, and so we'll have to kind of peek behind the curtain, listener. If you come in to do the show, we spend maybe 20 minutes to a half hour off mic where you get here, where you come out of the basement, we get you a drink, we listen to a record, we just kind of chill and just kind of get in the flow of conversing, and then I bring you over and we sit down in the chairs and we run through mic checks, and then boom, we're ready to do the show. And then afterwards, it's because in the show if you listen to the show, the show usually goes at least like an hour-ish to hour and a half bare minimum, and sometimes it spills over into the 2 hour mark or 2+ hour mark, and then those will get off mic, and then those people will still want to hang out, and then it becomes the thing where it's like, all right, cool, like, do I have to ask you to leave at some point, or are you going to leave, or are we just going to keep like hanging out and like drinking. Because the other thing is too, like I love hosting. I love to not have to go anywhere, and I like being in control of the situation. So if you hang out, I'm like, I will constantly just like, would you like another drink? And I'll get out another album. We'll play something else. We'll talk about it. Like, that's shit I definitely enjoy. So so now I'm like trying to have to figure out like how to like be like, hey man, I got to work at 8 tomorrow. You gotta, but I'm really bad at it. Max was the total opposite of all this. As soon as we got off mic, Max was like, well, thank you very much. I had a great time. All right, cool. And immediately went up the steps and got the fuck out. So that was the other thing I always remember him. It was the strangest episode in terms of stuff that I could not imagine doing. And then again, just as soon as the mics were off, boom, my man was gone.
Interesting.
Yeah, I need to have Max back on. He's a good dude.
He is a good dude.
Yeah, and it was a really memorable episode for me.
I think that, I don't know, we should go back to that because I think that's when you were talking about this as a social lubricant for you in some ways, like the idea that this helped pull you out of wanting to remember how to interact with people. It's almost like the show and the interview becomes this set of training wheels that gets you in like a format that you have control over, and you're making somebody else feel good. So it's not just like Tank needing to be the alpha, but it is like you being able to really control that environment. But then it turns into something that's like more organic. That's something that feels a little more natural. And that can be true for other people too. Like when Max was on your show, that would have still been 2021, 2022. And like we were all still learning how to socialize. And so, I mean, not to speculate about you, Max, if you're out there listening, like you'll have to write us in and tell us. But but like I think it's good for other people to be interviewed too. It just feels like, all right, somebody else is in charge. I just get to be there and react.
Yeah, and I like that too. I like the idea of like putting the spotlight on other people. I think that's part of the dance that is the podcast. Is every week I get a new dance partner or partners, and trying to set people up for success. I've listened to some other podcasts before where like people will throw out like really random questions or will ask something that's insulting, and I never want to do that. Like I never want to. I try not to put my guest on the back foot, and I also don't like the show. I don't want the show to be like a argument. I've had that happen like a time or two, and I didn't like it. I was just like, this isn't what the show's supposed to be. The show's supposed to be like us hanging, kind of exploring. It's not supposed to be us butting heads over something, And I would also never like just book somebody like that from the jump where I knew that we were gonna fight. Like, I think the only time I've ever done that was like with me and Quad were doing that. We had a couple episodes where it was like we intentionally went into it knowing we were going to disagree on stuff, and we fought it out. But that's because Quad Steve's a good sparring partner. Like
You could count on him to be a fair fighter.
Yeah. He's not going to like try to take out your fucking eyeball with a verbal thumb.
It was more like the two of you were rolling.
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly. Yeah, it was very like jujitsu-y. There are rules here. To this. There wasn't like personal attacks or anything. Like I hear you have a weird dick. And nothing like that. Just like.
That's a good callback. I last night I asked Tank. So my tack as a host was to ask him if there was anything that was off bounds, and he was like, "You're gonna ask me about my dick?" So he just brought it up because he clearly wants to talk about it.
I mean, I don't. It's pretty average white guyish. It's not. Here's the deal. As a white guy, you always got to undersell your dick. That way, when somebody sees your dick, they're like, "It's not half bad." And you're like, "Yeah,
it's definitely a tactic."
Yeah. So that's the way it works. So listener, all right, dick.
Just remember, everybody, if she says it's a nice size, that means it's small.
That's true.
Just a reminder.
We're trying to,
Thank you, Mallrats.
Accept our ego.
So, have you taken on any new hobbies or collections or fandoms as a result of a guest coming on the show?
Ooh, most of the time the guests will talk me into their thing if it's something I'm not. Normally, I don't get talked into doing it myself, but I get talked into the idea where I'm like, I could see how that happens, where I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, that's okay. Yeah, I get it.
But that's as far as it goes. You're not picking up anything real new.
No, I don't have the time or the money to pick up anything new at this point. Like I'm pretty set in my ways. I would have to trade something out to bring something in. So I'm not doing. I think the closest thing to a new hobby I have is kind of a rekindling of an old hobby. So hanging out with like Jamie and then Zach Bender and with Paul and the Secret Base guys, Andy and Ian. Being around like all those dudes and their love of like obscure cinema has now got me back into casually collecting Blu-rays and DVDs and stuff of movies that I haven't seen. Cause like I feel very not cool whenever I hang out with any of those guys because I feel very much like they're always talking about these cool movies I've never heard of. And then I feel like I'm the person that's like, hey guys, Green Day is a punk band too. Like, right? And they're like way cool, like fucking poser. So
What does casual collecting mean?
just like I just like pick stuff up and just it's not like it's not a collection where I'm really seeking stuff out. It's just if I happen upon it in the wild and then it's a physical object, so it's going to take up space, so it's just kind of pick it up. Like, so for example, over here, like I got like 5 DVDs that are setting up right now. I've never seen Hereditary, so I wanted to buy that. I got that was when I was at Paper Street to pick that up. And then they also had Candyman and The Event Horizon. I was like, all right, cool, I'm going to grab those. And then Jamie loaned me Shocking Dark and Creature with these 2 movies I've never heard of. Shocking Dark, they took the plot of they take the plot of Aliens and they merge it with the Terminator.
What?
And then it's set in post-apocalyptic Venice.
Is it in Italian?
I originally I'm guessing, but it's in English.
It's dubbed.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is that so? I remember the first episode ever,
Yes.
and we should like unpack that one because I thought it was really delightful. Like I know that your early episodes of the show like didn't have the bumper on it, like they didn't have.
I'm so scared to go back and listen to that, and it makes me cringe that is one of the highest downloaded episodes of the podcast ever. You're number 1. No, episode number 4.
No shit.
Yeah, you are. You've been consistent. There's been a few times. There was a time when
The stripper episode was pretty popular.
Stripper episode is pretty popular, but
Yeah.
the 2 biggest have been you and then Cody Hucker, formerly of the Bastard Sermon, getting ready to do a new podcast here in a few months. When he came on to talk Tarantino, so you 2 duke it out for number 1 on a regular basis.
Right on, man.
Currently, you are in the lead. And then episode number 1 with Jamie is also usually in that mix.
I think it's a delightful episode. But I remember he was describing that it was cheaper to, instead of getting licensing to sell, and I may be like misparaphrasing, so you'll have to correct me, but he was describing that rather than getting licensing to have a movie in another country, they would just full on remake it.
Yeah.
So is that what happened here? It's like a portmanteau of those
Sorta,
2
kinda.
films.
Yeah.
They're just like, we're going to improve 2 great tastes that taste great together.
Peanut butter and chocolate, exactly what that is. And so when they originally released this, like in Japan, it was called Terminator 2 because Terminator 2 didn't exist yet because it was filmed in the 80s. And then it was also called Alienators.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's
True portmanteau.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's hilarious. Well, like how do you feel looking at episode 1 and episode 107 with Strecker that came out last week? Which Strecker, great podcast. That was really fun listening to you. Let's catch up soon.
I like her. She's fun. She's fun to work
You
with.
guys are great together.
She's really good at yes-anding.
That was
Like she's very enabling.
that was fucking delightful. Please, Lauren Strecker, find a way to make the Predator Lyra routine.
Yeah.
Like find a way to make this happen. You can still be on skates, but I need to see. I mean, the Predator is kind of a through line of this podcast, so I'm hoping that some of these clips really inspire you.
We do love the Predator here at Way Into, and yes, please do a non-sad girl Lear routine.
Oh my God.
I think
That
it's
made me
so.
laugh,
I think
yeah.
it's so hilarious. This just
She
a
just
bunch
said it
of
like it
sad
was
women.
She didn't say it like she wanted it, and she said, "I love that your goal, Lauren Strecker, is to not have a sad song as your song." But the way that she just said that, like that was just a fact.
Yeah.
Like that's just what happens.
It's just what happens. You just go. You see like middle-aged white women
like-
be bummed
she's
out
like-
for like 2 hours while they're on a big fucking hoop.
I also meant to look up the Radiohead song that I actually think would look dope as a lyric routine. It's that song that has like the kind of cowbell at the beginning, and it's like boom 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 boom. Bum, bum, bum.
I was thinking. That'd
Be pretty sweet. I mean, there's like some good, cool energy that I think would be like solid for. She's like, well, I guess creep, but then
Yeah, you know, and it's like,
I guess that's
it
a
is
sad
sad.
song.
It is sad, but you could like do like a big arm motion, like I'm a Cree, and then
Yeah,
like really bring
a
it
big
around.
swing.
Yeah, big
Yeah.
swing. Yeah, there's definitely you could do that, but yeah, this has become like a recent trope of the show is people coming on and singing songs badly.
Oh, did I just do that?
No,
Yeah,
no, no,
kinda.
but not.
Yeah.
But in a good bad way. In a
Yeah.
good bad way.
Right.
Like
It was meant to be
Yeah,
cheesy.
no. I mean, there was like an episode recently where
Thanks for the review.
I was singing Spin Doctors for fuck's sake.
Oh, yeah.
And then like the other guys were like trying to sing Hoobastank. You know, it's just
Yeah.
it's just become a thing now where people come on the show and they just like and it's kind of fumble fuck their way through a song.
You got away with not doing a a fake Red Hot Chili Peppers teaching song, but maybe
Okay, well, so again, it's funny you bring this up because this episode is getting released tomorrow. But Dylan finally explained to me like how the Chili Peppers thing works because basically Anthony Kiedis is using his voice as an instrument. So it doesn't matter what Anthony Kiedis is saying. It's just that the fact that he's like da ba ba da ba da ba blah blah, like he could literally just like blah 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 blah. It doesn't even have to make words. His voice is like this weird instrument.
it dovetails with another observation that you've made, which is that you can make anything sound like a maxim if you say it with the right cadence.
That's true.
You make
Yeah.
it back into the cadence.
Yeah,
So-
100%.
Just don't break the rhythm, man. It's
Nope.
like concentration
Keep
all the
it going.
time. How has this show changed since you started it? Like, how did it evolve and unfurl? Like, based on that, the first vision was it's a funny hang that has a theme about hobbies and collections, and the theme is hobbies and collections. So it's 2 years later, man. What's changed?
It's still kind of the same. It's just now a more refined engine. Like doing the show, I just kind of had to figure out what the show is and how the show works and what to ask and just setting up the things and the segments and all that kind of stuff. And mainly just making sure that the guest is comfortable. That's paramount. Like I can't do the show if the guest is stiff. So making sure that they're cool and they're in a welcoming environment where they feel free to talk. That's the big thing I learned over time is like I can pretty much structure everything else. I can control everything else, but I can't fully control the guests. Like I can't be like, be funny now,
No.
So I have to figure out like what I can do to, and also like I can't be like, hey, like quit being stiff. I have no control over that. So the only thing I can do is create situations in which they feel okay being vulnerable or they feel okay being truthful or they can just be themselves.
How about like, have you changed anything about how you order which episodes you're recording and doing in terms of like distributing hobbies, collections? And I'm going to throw out a third category, but I feel like there's even more than that. Like as the anthropologist, I'm always taxonomizing things. Like I see a category of fandom on your show. So
Yeah.
it's like there's hobbies, there's collections, and those like always blur anyway. And fandom also does the same thing. I think fandom is like when you like to consume a particular, it could be consuming like a particular type of music or a particular film. It's like a particular type of thing. But sometimes hunting those down can be a hobby. So anyway, like
Yeah, I think the Couple of Creeps episodes definitely falls into that fandom thing.
Yes.
Where it's like that's like their identity.
Yeah.
That's like who they are as people is they're spooky, and they like spooky movies and spooky things. And yeah, it's like it's interesting that came
the
out
Salem
of that.
episodes are sort of like that.
The Salem
it's not
yeah.
really a hobby, but
Yeah.
it is kind of like I'm a fan of
Yeah.
the occult. I'm
And-
a fan of witches.
Like an essence thing or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely that. And I've also found myself falling into like one thing I tried to stay away from was I tried to stay away initially from hobbies and collections that become a business or like you do it for a living. But I've found now that there's a lot of people that have like slippery sloped from collection into now they're on the sales side of it. And that's an interesting conversation to have too, because they definitely still love the thing, but how they love the thing has changed. And so I think that's also like a third or fourth subcategory.
I think you're right. And that category can also slip into, you might not get as much candor because they are a little bit of a spokesperson for what they're doing.
Yeah.
So you may get like fewer hot takes, like a little bit less of like the like kind of I don't know, the really human and personal side of what you connect to.
I won't name them now because I think that'd be bad form, but I have reached out to like 2 different pop culture shops that I want to interview them and being like, what's it like being on the sales side of this? And I think correctly, and from their perspective, they've not responded to me because it's like, you know, you're going to come on the show and you're, you know, inadvertently at some point going to end up airing out dirty laundry, and it's not going to be good because I can only imagine what it must be like to deal with people that are in collections or fandoms and what they expect stuff to be.
That's
and
true.
yeah, like I know that, you know, there's people like my father-in-law, Rob, who is very particular about things and will like needle people on the quality and the condition of like a record. And, you know, I'm just thinking about being in that and whether you're dealing within like DVDs or records or, you know, toys or whatever, like just all these different subcategories you could be in, and then the collector that you're dealing with. So if you come on the show and you talk about what it's like to deal with those collectors, I think at some point the mask is going to slip a little bit and you're going to be like, these fucking guys, you know?
Yeah, that's
so, because I can... I
would
can
feel that way.
I can only imagine. I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect job. Like if you have a job, if you have something you do for a living to make money for, there are parts of it you will hate.
Yeah.
And especially something like that where you are dealing with, number one, you're dealing with humans, which is always a fucking dicey proposition to begin with. But number 2, you're dealing with humans that are into this thing that they care passionately about.
Yes. In particular.
Yeah.
Depending on what kind of collector you are.
Yeah,
Casual collector or a connoisseur or quality.
Quality.
Another
Yeah.
set of vocabulary we'll come back to.
Yes, very much so.
So I've observed with the pods that have come out, the 107 pods that have come out so far, like I think some of these fandom episodes are absolutely fucking delightful. And I'm wondering, like, so especially the film ones, what have we all done? You've got Tarantino, you've got Saw, you've got Terminator, Predator, Star Wars, Mad Max.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, the Mad Max episode was with the dudes from Secret Base.
What else have you done? And which one is your favorite out of the film? Because the film ones are quite classic and hilarious.
I think that's it right now. We got one on deck. Me and Paul are gonna do a Child's Play series.
Nice.
Because a Child's Play is Paul's favorite horror movie franchise, which kind of caught me off guard. I was like, all right, fuck it, we'll do it. So yeah, that's gonna be way fun in the future. But and you kind of asked it earlier with like approaching how to like divvy up the interviews. So I usually book out about a month at a time, but I have a Google sheet, not Google sheet, sorry, Google Doc that has everybody's name on it and then what they do. And so basically when I'm talking to people out and I stumble upon somebody that has a collection or hobby, I record their name and I record what it is. And then I go through the list and I figure out like how I can book the month. And so, for example, like one of the things I try not to do is like I've listed basically every video game system that's existed from Atari to now. And I will eventually get through every system with different guests, but I also can't book like 2 or 3 of those in a row because now I'm a video game podcast.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same thing
you
with like
can't do them all in a
with the movie thing where the movie collection episodes are way fun, but I have to space them out by at least like a month to like, 6 weeks apart so that I don't become a movie podcast. Cause that's something that like having been on doing the Geek Channel 8 show, like that's their entire show is they just review movies. And I'm not that. So yeah, trying to find that. As far as favorite one, I really like the Terminator one. That one was fun with Cody. And then, but the Predator one, it was the first ever 2-part episode. And that was way fun with Cody and Paul.
It was a two-parter.
It was a two-parter. So that was way fun. It went, the second part, I mean, it did go long. We were all tired by the end of it.
I bet.
Yeah, because we talked really in depth about the fucking Predator franchise for 4 hours.
You guys left no stone unturned, no turn unstoned.
Yeah, we did not. But it was way fun, just to, especially that first step to talk about like Predator and Predator 2 and the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Let's visit that because
Okay.
it was a classic.
starts so he like what is it like at night he gets all the torches and stuff like that. He starts setting traps and he does like a George of the Jungle yell.
Tarzan yell?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the Tarzan. He's like, let's fucking go, motherfucker. And then so well yeah, so big fight happens and like he keeps trying to lure him into a trap, but the predator is obviously Hunter. He's like, nah, dude, you're the prey. I'm the predator. And then what?
But that trap was a decoy for the real trap.
Yeah. Was he under? He's like, come on, do it.
Do it.
Kill me.
Get him in.
Do it, I'm here.
Yeah,
Do it. Do it now.
I think a little bit before that, the predator reveals himself.
Yes.
After getting some blows dealt to him.
That's
by,
true. He pops the mask.
By Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And
then we get the
bitch slaps
line.
the fuck out of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, he pimp hands him like 3 times. I was like, God damn, I've never seen Arnie get smacked up like this.
But we do get the line.
The one line, you are one ugly motherfucker.
Again, like, how many fucking iconic lines is in this goddamn movie?
All of them.
Good question, Amy. Very good question. How many iconic lines are there in this movie?
The only one we missed was, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
We missed that and get to the chopper.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, that's in another part of the episode, but that cut, I mean, just so classic.
Yeah. Sexual Tyrannosaurus, the fucking the handshake, the greatest handshake ever, with him and Carl Weathers at the beginning.
Classic.
Yeah, great movie.
It inspired me listening to the podcast. I agree. The second edition of that, like the 88.2, was like a little slower paced, and I kind of, it wasn't quite as.
Yeah, I mean,
you were at the end of the marathon. You guys literally talked a marathon, but like it did inspire me to watch Prey. I watched it last week.
Nice.
That was the first time I'd seen it.
what'd you think of Prey?
I really liked it.
I like Prey.
I
Prey was
agree
great.
that the CGI was not good.
CGI was bad.
The stunts were good.
Practical effects were great.
So stunts and practical effects that was another word that I learned from the podcast was practical effects.
Practical effects?
Words. Yeah.
Practical effects are fucking awesome.
Are they stunts or are they something else?
Practical effects? Well, it can be both. So practical effects are like explosions or like car wrecks or something like that. Basically anything that's not CGI, like anything that actually does happen. Or in terms of like a monster movie, like somebody wearing a suit or something like that, or having puppets, like something that's not a CGI digital, fill-in.
Interesting. All right. Yeah, that I loved the relationship between do you remember the name of the main character, the hunter, her name?
Oh, in Prey?
Yeah.
No, she was the Indian lady with the dog.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I just like the relationship between her and her brother. Like he was within the bounds of what the Comanche were as a group. Like he seemed like he was trying to help her out, and that felt like human to me and really like believable that would be what it was. And yeah, it was a super satisfying film.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really do hope that this sets up an entire Predator franchise of Predators fighting different warriors from different time periods throughout Earth's history.
What, you guys had some sick idea that was like a super good. You had an era that you wanted to see like a Spartan Predator. That would be pretty fucking dope.
Yeah,
and honestly the mask and hoplite uniform / armor would look fucking sweet against the Predator stuff.
Would.
But what else did you guys had another one?
Samurais.
Samurai would be so
Samurai would be
super sweet.
sick. Yeah, a pirate ship would be cool.
That was a cool idea.
You could put him in the trenches of World War One. Like really, there is no situation where the Predator does not work. You can put the Predator in the American Revolution if you want to.
This is like the Bubba Gump.
Yeah, it's like the shrimp thing. Yeah, just dump Predator wherever you want. It totally works. You can put Predator wherever.
Predator, French and Indian War, Predator.
Yeah, wherever. Just bust him down, like wherever you want to put him.
Predator, War of the Roses. Yeah. Predator, Napoleon.
Yeah, you could put Predator on fucking Midway. Like I don't know. I guess he gets his own ship. I don't know how that fully works. If somebody tries to kamikaze him, I don't know. I guess he like fucking net guns the plane. I don't know, but it works.
What happens if we meld Predator with like Hunt for Red October?
Oh, that'd be sick.
Yeah,
I'd watch that.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm into it. Let's do it.
Hell yeah.
All right, we're changing over from that was the segment called Learning and Stuff.
And learning and stuff.
Now we're changing over to anthropology.
Okay, anthropology and
All right.
stuff.
So anthropology is going to be a little bit about what can we and have we learned about Tank from the podcast.
Okay.
And then, and that's like a little bit of that is going to be you saying what you learned about Tank. And then the other one is going to be, what are some through lines that we've learned about humans and collectors and hobbyists and fans, and like I think there's a lot more data to go from than we had when we were looking at episode 27. But I went about it a kind of different way when I was looking at the package too. Not so many typologies this time.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna start by getting very postmodern.
Okay.
So let's go for some stuff that we learned about you. So one thing that is a through line going back to the Max Mullerin is we know about your fear of snakes.
I don't like snakes.
I'm gonna play a clip, one of the early clips where we learned this about you.
My biggest fear is snakes. I hate snakes, and I get it from my mom. I grown up around her. Like she would see, because we grew up like we didn't like grow up out in the country. Yes and no. So we lived in the town that was in the country, but then we were surrounded by the country. So every once in a while we'd like be outside, and there was just like always lots of wood. She would see a snake, and then she'd like scream and freak out, and which she will still do to this day. So now when I see snakes, I have like the same reaction. Where I'm like, I don't like that. Yeah. It's like the one thing that gets me. Heights and that. And well, the thing with heights is it depends on what the height is. Like I can do roller coasters all day, every day. Don't care. I'll do that. I don't like being on a ladder. That's what I don't like.
The exposure.
Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah. Like if I'm strapped into something, cool. But if I'm like kind of wobbling around, I like to keep my feet on the land. I'm a land dweller. I ain't trying to get up high. Yeah. So definitely, snakes are the thing I'm always trying to avoid. I got to get over that at some point. But
do you? I don't know. You can avoid it.
I don't know. Well, I'd like to get over it. So one of my coworkers, her and her wife like raise snakes. You like they got like that thing going where it's like, oh, here's this thing over here that looks like a filing cabinet of glass, but guess what? It's like 40 snakes. Like
guess what?
Yeah, surprise.
Snakes.
Yeah, like I couldn't imagine. But I at some point, like after COVID, like I kind of just want to go over the house and be like, all right, just like throw like a 1-footer on me or something.
Throw a snake on me.
Yeah, just something small. Like don't
me
start me out with the anaconda. Okay,
Yeah, no.
Like I don't want that. I don't give me the 20-footer. But if you can give me something that's like chill, I can work with that. But yeah, and so I would like to get to the point where I would like to get to the point where I could be cool with constrictors. Like pythons and boas, I'd be cool with. Yeah.
Okay, so I did learn from Max Muller, you start with snake in a bag.
I got snake in a bag
got
too.
snake in a
I got
bag.
it queued
You got
up.
snake in a
We're gonna go
bag.
back to back clips. I know these were long, but I think it's worth listening to both.
Okay, so
I've always had the snake thing, and I would love to get over it. It'd be nice to finally break that.
Yeah, I don't recommend just going out and getting a pet as
So
like your
gentle.
first step to getting over
Like, I don't wanna hurt
an
your
animal
feelings,
fear, but
snake in a bag.
yeah, it can be done.
Yeah,
It can be done.
I think if I had like some dude like you, where it's like like today would have been could have been a thing where it's like hey, check this out, here he is, you can touch it,
Here he
it's
is.
pretty chill.
Waiting
The
for
first
it.
time I went to a reptile show, I dragged my friend who was afraid of snakes there.
Oh, dear
Actually,
God.
I didn't realize how much he was afraid of snakes, but while he was there, he's just like, screw it, I'm going to just go ahead and push myself. And he said he was very proud of himself. He held a snake that was in a canvas bag.
Holy shit!
So like just
Snake
a
in a
bag
bag.
of snake,
A bag
basically.
of dude, see, I'm getting just a bag of snake. A bag of snake's scary, dude.
That is the bag of snake.
Bag of snake is scary, dude. Like I don't know. I really would like to get over my fear of snakes. That would be something that I'm very interested in doing. I don't know. I'm just like actively going out and doing it though. It's just like, I guess if it was presented to me. So for example, when we were in Vegas, there was of course some weird guy on the street that had like a fucking 6-foot long python around his
can
neck.
imagine.
There's
Yeah.
always snake guy. Like
There is.
if you go to some place in California or Vegas, if
There's
you go
gonna
to
be a
if you
snake
if you
guy.
go to the beach in California, there's always snake guy.
For sure.
And it's just like some dude that just has like an 8-foot long python just chilling on him, and it's just like, bro, why?
I think because I think it's his version of what you into. It is.
Being snake guy?
He's like, somebody's going to come up to me and talk to me about it. It's like peacocking, He's like, I'm giving you an opening.
Yeah,
Come talk to me.
Come talk to me in the snake.
I don't have, for whatever reason, like he wants this he wants this lubricant that's going to help him have a conversation. And he knows, like, you see him with a snake, you're coming up to him because of the snake. You're already saying yes, aren't you?
I also feel like, hang with me on this theory.
I'm with you.
All right. Like, I got to figure that the ladies that are attracted to a dude with a snake and like a snake are pretty good in the bedroom because they're into some freaky shit. So finding a snake lady, you know, it's kind of like a Fox News mom. Like, they're rare, but they're out there.
You gotta fly your flag and see.
That's what
we can. Any metaphor, blow a dog whistle.
Yeah, that's what Snake Dude's doing. Snake Dude has a snake. He's bringing in the freaky ladies.
Wave your snake
and
flag.
it's a solid opener. Like, oh, this dude. Oh, this is Shadow. He's a reticulated python.
Shadow.
Yeah, you gotta have a cool name for the snake.
Right.
Yeah, you can't or do you downplay it? Do you
This is Binky.
Yeah, exactly, or Fluffy or something.
This is Mr. Noodles.
Yeah, Mr. Noodle. Yeah, look at him. No, but seriously, if he doesn't eat for a few days, he will kill a child and swallow it.
It's gonna happen.
But look, he's fun.
But wrap him around you.
Yeah.
See how you feel about it.
See what happens.
Don't worry, I won't let anything happen to you.
It's fine.
Yes.
I got you.
I got you.
Yeah, so I don't
really
know.
got you.
Maybe at some point, maybe I get over the fear of snakes, but I don't want to become a snake guy. Like, that'd be like becoming a magician. Like,
true.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah. There's like a special little room in purgatory where the magicians, the snake handlers, like
Yeah, those dudes
I'm trying
live.
to think of other people who fall into that category.
Comedy rule of 3: mimes.
Oh, mimes.
Yeah,
That's perfect.
Yeah, snake guys, mime guys, and magicians.
Oh man.
Definitely an ex-boyfriend purgatory.
They've all read Neil Strauss's The Game, but they haven't absorbed it yet.
No, they're trying to figure it out. They're definitely watching that fucking VH1 show from the early 2000s with like Enigma or question mark, whatever the fuck his name was, the pickup artist guy. Do you remember that?
Yeah, mystery.
Yeah, mystery.
Enigma or question mark.
It was something like that. Mystery. Okay, I was close.
Oh my god, that's great. Enigma and question mark are like the off-brand mystery.
Yeah, they're not on VH1. They're on like the country
They
music
figured
network or
out
something.
negging, but they always end up complimenting the girl instead. And they're like, God damn it!
Yeah, it's like,
Just like have a shower cry.
I would like to think that they take their negging too far, and it's like
Oh,
it's like
go too far.
it's like, all right, that's just that. Now you're just being sexist. It's like this is not working.
They're like, oh no, I got canceled again.
Damn it.
They just keep coming back with other question names. They're like, I'm Riddler.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can come back in the game. It's
I'm
fine.
Quizzo.
Yeah.
It's nice to meet you.
Hi.
So am I hearing that both with the snakes and with the heights, there have not been any no experiences that have taken you like a baby step forward on that?
No. I'm currently still in the same position of I don't like either.
That wasn't meant to make you feel bad.
That's okay. I would like to get over the snake thing at some point. It's just, yeah. I don't know how to get over the heights thing. I think the heights thing is just always going to be there.
Yeah, I was trying to think about that. I mean, well, if you ever want to get on rope, we can get you on a rappel rack and you'll know how to trust your gear.
I'm good.
I'm solid. He's a land mammal, folks. He's advertised it as such. It's important to know. So that was a question, like what are the constants and what are the changes? But listeners, I am hearing that Tank would be open to a snake coming to the house with heads up.
Yeah, no,
With
you
heads up.
just can't roll up in the drive with a fucking snake. Like you
Yeah.
gotta give me a hey.
Insert one does not simply gif here. One does not simply walk into the basement.
Yeah, you don't
with
just
a
come in
snake.
as snake guy.
Although you did say, I mean, you even hinted to Max, maybe on your next appearance, you did hint to Max. You're like, if he were here he is. Like if Max had just come with snake.
I need like a 1 footer. You know, we don't need to get crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need somebody rolling up like Jake the Snake Roberts with like a fucking 20 footer in a bag. Like, let's not do that. Let's not. I don't want to be looking at something like a snake with a head like a toilet seat. That's not what I'm into. I want like a more controlled thing.
He's into 1 foot pythons.
Yeah.
Reticulated pythons.
Yeah, just little guys.
I don't know if the reticulation happens after a certain amount of footage. Somebody's going to have to drop some knowledge.
That's true.
Max is yelling at us.
Please write into the show how reticulation works.
That's right. Let's learn us.
All right, so we got to take a pause real quick because a couch is getting delivered right now.
Oh.
And then once the couch is here, we'll be back. So, listener.
Ciao.
Hey, listener, we're back. But of course,
That's right. We're back.
We're a drop show now. Now we have drops.
It's happening. Let it happen.
We have the show now has a soundboard when you're hosting.
He said he wanted some podcast strange. Yeah, it's like a podcast second. Can I be like the Robin? Just like
You're the Robin Quivers of podcast. I don't know if I had the money to build you your own separate room in the basement.
damn it.
Because when did they start doing that with her and Stern? Like, because I mean, I know it was like that when they had the E show, but was it like that when they were at NBC? Did she have her own little room?
I mean, I always remember seeing her in her own little partition.
Yeah, how did that start? Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing.
It's so with that, I wonder if their dynamic was always well. Okay, two questions. First of all, is Robin Quivers' name really Robin Quivers? Like, what a fucking name!
It's a great name.
It's like Bonnie Thunders.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
It totally
Holly
works.
Storms.
It definitely works.
When I met Holly Storms, she was Holly Storms was a skater on our roller derby team called, like, her name was Mall Cop, Maul Cop, but her real name was Holly fucking Storms. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, which is a cool name.
Oh my God, I'm so jealous. It's not fair. Not fair. The second question was just like, yeah, were they always that way? I guess I've only seen the biopic, so that's my only real context.
Yeah, I remember when it was on the E show back in the '90s. She definitely had her own room, so that's something they've kept going. And then the question is, it's like, why did that, like, who started that and where did, like, was that like in her contract? Like, I get my own room? Because again, so listener, going back to, again, when we're recording this is the episode that Bomb hasn't listened to, is the one with Dylan, which is coming out tomorrow. But Dylan talked about that too, about the idea of the reason why they record like that is so that they're not bleeding onto each other's mics. Because, like, that's something that happens in the recording of this is, because I edit the podcast only so much, I don't edit out the track so that like I don't edit out your mic while my mic is on.
Okay.
So you're hearing me in both mics right now. So if you're an audiophile, the show might piss you off. Listener, I just don't have that much time to edit the podcast. So that's the reality of it. So hopefully it's not a deal breaker for you, but peek behind the curtain. That's what happens with the editing.
That was actually going to be one of my questions about your choice not to edit. And you talk a little bit about fuck ups. So I'm going to play that sound clip real quick. And then I want to hear about that choice a little bit more.
Okay.
Like, you'll say something on podcast, you totally fuck it up. And it's just like, oh, I can't take that back. That was in the moment in the conversation. Like, I can't go back now that I'm editing it and listening to the podcast and, like, chop it out. Because if I chop that out, now it's going to fuck up the rest of the conversation. So, yeah, I got to leave it in that, like, I didn't know this thing. Or I called this thing when it's actually this thing. And it's like, oh, God damn it. Yeah.
Yeah. Very rarely do I cut stuff out of the podcast.
I've heard people ask you to. Like,
Yeah.
I remember, I feel like it was somebody was like, I think maybe that one's going to get edited out. And looking at you and you're like, nope.
No. Yeah. I think I've taken out, like, I want to say, like, maybe it's less than a handful. I've edited out. I can think of two things I've edited out top of my head. And one was somebody said something that was racist, but they didn't know was racist.
Oh damn!
So
yeah,
it was
that's
like,
pretty awkward.
so it was like, oh man, it's like I'm gonna save you on this one. I'm just gonna go ahead and edit this one out so that you don't get in trouble. Because they just had no concept of it, and so it was like, all right, well we'll get rid of that. And then there was another one where we got into, we started talking cancel culture stuff, and it took like a really weird turn, and I was like, man, and it wasn't anything I said, it was something that the guest said, and then later the guest was like, hey, could we and I was like, yeah, we can definitely take care of that for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, because it was just, it really went left field, and of course, like, that turned into me, like, it got into like this weird conversation of me being like, I'm not co-signing that. And so
that's right.
Yeah. So
I think that's how I'd handle it too. Like, I'd want it to be organic. I want people to be themselves, but I also, you don't want to signal boost that. And I also notice as an announcer, I always just see you want to make the other person look great.
Yeah.
And so it's not that it should be fake. They should be their authentic self.
Yeah.
And here's what's great about this authentic person. But you can, like, there's things that you can do on the back end in order to cut out the noise.
Yeah, and stuff that's going to make them look bad. And then, like, have a conversation. I'm like, hey, you know, and that's the thing.
Yeah, they still deserve to hear why that was racist.
That's the thing too, is like in the past, like I've been able to like talk to people and be like, hey man, I'm going to take this out, but here's why. And then they're like, oh, I get it. And I'm like, they're like, yeah, actually, thank you. So, but yeah, the majority of the stuff I don't edit on the podcast. I wish I had an editor. I really do. I wish I had somebody that would edit the podcast. I wish I had somebody that would take out all my pause words. You know, because that's the thing that drives me nuts is listening back and hearing myself say like a bunch. Like that kills me inside. So I wish I had somebody that could just rip that out of every episode, but at the same time, I don't have the time to do it. So, because that is being the captain of your own ship, is you got to figure out what thing you're going to put your time and energy towards with the show. And I just can't be everything at once. But I have to be, because it's my show. So
you do, and that you're dovetailing perfectly into what I was going to ask you next. Because just a reminder, I guess you guys have been listening the whole time, so you don't need a reminder. But I'm reminding myself. We're in the anthropology of Tank and anthropology of the podcast section. So my next question was going to be like, what? I mean, you just noted some speaking habits that you have, but what else have you learned about yourself from doing the show? It's been 2 years. That is enough time for like a major cycle of, I don't know, some things changing over.
I'm way more confident with the podcast now. There really isn't a situation at this point where I really get too nervous in interviewing people. Again, at this point for me, it's the making people feel comfortable thing that I'm most focused on, because at this point I have, a very good structure of how the show works. Like I said, welcoming people into the basement, hanging out for a little bit. Hey, you sit in this chair. I'm gonna sit in this chair. Set your mic up. Run through everything at the top. Like that's all structural. That's all there. Yeah. So I think what I've learned is just like tricks to make people feel like comfortable quicker.
What are tricks?
Just so one of the things I do whenever guests come into the basement, I offer them whatever they want to drink, and then I'm always like, hey, do you want a water? And then usually people take me up on that, and I always ask them, I'm like, do you want cubed ice or crushed ice? And people are very like, they're like, well, I get a choice. And it's like, yeah, you're drinking it. Why wouldn't you get a choice in how you drink it? And so that instantly is a thing that people are like, oh, this guy cares, like he really wants me to feel comfortable here. And that's just one way to get people to chill and, get the best out of people. And that's something I learned over time, is the more relaxed I can make people feel as they come in, and, just kind of start getting that human bond. Cause there's a lot of times where I interview people where I don't know them, it's like, it's a friend of a friend, and it's like, hey, my friend does this. And it's like, okay. Whereas other people, it's very familiar, and we just use that hangout time at the beginning just to hang out and chill and talk about stuff that we're not going to talk about on mic because it's not pertinent to the podcast, but I mean, yeah, like, you've been playing like clips of like Paul and Cody, like those are two dudes that, we don't really need to, like, for us before we get on mic, it's just we're catching up and we're just hanging out and just, hey, what's going on? Whereas other times where it's somebody new, like, I think back to Christian from Christian Ireland. He's the head chef over at High Grain.
Yes.
I'd never met Christian before. He just like showed up at my house with he just like rolled in, and I made sure to have like a 6-pack of PBR for him, and that was really it. And then he flipped me a bottle of whiskey, and we just instantly became friends. Like just instantly, it was like, all right, cool. Just talk for 5 minutes, and it's like, oh, this guy is this guy's a buddy, and that's taking that energy from the pre-show then into the show. It feels good.
That does feel good. Yeah, it is you talked a little bit with Eric Chatterjee about, which I know he goes by Eric Tragedy. Hi, Eric, if you're listening. I haven't talked in a long time, but I played D&D with him and Julie, his wife, a long time ago, and was in grad school with Julie. So it was really fun to hear his pod, and I'm looking forward to listening to your podcast, Eric. I know you were talking about the difference between, like, he has some steadies that come on the show, and you said that you were more guest dependent, and I liked that clip too, so I cut that one.
Okay. I'm solo. I'm Mad Max out here. I'm just like, I'm living my own thing. Every once in a while I have a dog that shows up on the show, but I am totally guest dependent, which is a weird thing, because like every week I have to vibe with somebody new that comes into the space, and okay, hopefully this works, and I work with people that sometimes I work with people that have done a lot of podcasts, but usually I'm working with people that have never done a podcast. And so that whole thing of trying to figure out, okay, how's this going to work, and then the other thing that's interesting too is sometimes the show can be really funny and sometimes the show is really serious and dry, and just depending on who the guest is and what we're talking about.
So along those lines, and like knowing that you want the like in terms of like the initial zeitgeist of the show, you wanted it to be funny. And I mean, sometimes conversations just need to go where they need to go.
Yeah.
But what kind of guest do you vibe best with? And that could be like topic, that could be type of personality, that could be like really open-ended question. Let me try to keep that as open-ended as possible.
Oh man. I think I vibe with people that I vibe with people that were already friends in real life, and then also I vibe with people who are really into their hobby or collection because they're passionate about it, and you just get to hear them talk about it, and they're all about it. I think one of the best comments I receive is every once in a while I'll get oh man, I have never talked about X this much in my entire life with another human, and I think that's kind of a cool compliment, is like somebody who doesn't get a nerd out about their thing, and now they're brought on a podcast for like the next 90 minutes, 2 hours. They just kind of can talk about whatever. I think that's great. But yeah, and then just like people I vibe with, like, I mean, I think the Lauren Strecker episode was way fun because I vibe with her. She's funny. She's really good at yes-anding. The stuff with Cody and Paul is always good. Jamie, I mean, I've always toyed with the idea, and it won't happen because of our schedules, but like if I ever was to do a second podcast or something, or one that I shared with somebody, it would be him. Like we vibe, we get each other, we definitely understand each other's sense of humor. And what's cool about Jamie is like there's a lot of stuff that we agree on and we overlap on, but there's a lot of stuff that we just don't, and that's also kind of the fun of it. Yeah. So so I like both of that. I like both people that I'm friends with coming on the show, and then also people that have like a really interesting story or thing that they're into and they really love.
Those were some really good examples that, in my opinion, too, I was like in the same. And actually, the next one that I had reserved to play was when Jamie and Justin 3000 came on for Friday the 13th. And I have to play this. This clip just cracked me up. You guys were hilarious. Okay. All three of you.
All right.
Just like he's doing his off time is just training.
Picturing what Jason does on his day off.
When the camp shut down, he is running laps, he is lifting, he is mountain climbing the rocks.
I do want a Jason montage now.
He is prepping for everything.
No, I think he just see. I'm on the other end where I think he's he's the mummy. He just rests.
So?
Yeah,
he's just so tired.
Yeah, he's like Swamp Thing. He's just in the earth.
Now just imagine he's just laying there. He's like icing his legs. And he's gonna take an ice bath today. He's got like a rug on him. It's just warm. He's like
his pants rolled up, just sort of dangling in the water.
It's like just thinking about life, and taking it.
I like to think of Jason as like a bulldog, where like normally he's just napping, but he'll get like a good 10 to 15 minutes of zoomies where he just really goes off.
It's a hell of a zoomie.
That was such a great. That little bit was hilarious.
It's true. I endorse all these opinions of what Jason could be doing. I like
exactly. There was respectful disagreement, and you guys really built on each other in that discussion
of what Jason does do on his day off. It is a question to ask yourself: what does Jason do on Saturday the 14th?
Yeah, but then to your other point, where you've mentioned this repeatedly on the show, where you enjoy it if you don't know anything about the hobby.
Yeah.
Lucretia Jackson, when she came on for the plants, this segment, this bit also fucking destroyed me.
Why are ferns so damn temperamental? Like, what's the deal with that?
They love being wet, moist, but not wet.
Okay.
Almost to the point of you needing to create like a bog for them.
Like a mist tent kind of situation?
Yes.
Is this like fuck boys?
Oh, yes. They love being, but they don't like the leaves wet. But the soil almost needs to stay perpetually wet.
They are the fuckboys of plants.
Yes, because they sexy, and you think you can change them,
but you can't.
You can fix it.
It's very high maintenance.
It's gonna do it. You give up everything for this goddamn plant, and this plant dies on you because it's gonna remind you ain't shit, but you're gonna buy me again and think you can do it again. And I did not do it because it'll give you growth points. And you're like, look, okay, that's dying, but look, I got new growth. No.
I have to give you credit, Lucretia. You were the one who said fuck boys. I didn't want to make it sound like Tank came up with it, but the yes and on that was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, when she hit me with that, I was like, I just immediately just pop for it. I'm like, oh man, I can't believe we're calling ferns fuckboys. Okay, let's go.
I had a dying fern at the moment too. Like
Mm-hmm.
a neighbor gave it to me who is like a much more talented plant person than I was. This was in DC. And her, even this like complaint segment actually, or this rant, it's one of the rants, right? It actually really helped me because I threw my fern outside. I physically threw it outside. No, just kidding. I put it outside on my porch. And DC is a swamp. You know, they call it the swamp for many reasons.
Mm-hmm.
It is also properly a fucking swamp with fucking mosquitoes and fucking very, very, very humid days. So it did great. It was
Really?
the fern was like new growth, everything, but that was the only condition that it really works under. So I have one right now that's really, really suffering, and it's in my shower, like at the end of the shower. So I'm trying not to get the leaves wet, Lucretia. But just so you know,
You're showering with a plant right now?
yeah, many plants actually. I've got some air plants in there too.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We've not gone. Actually, no. I take that back. There was a time when Lauren did have some ferns or some shit in the fucking shower, which is always weird when you're sharing a shower with something. Like,
I think it's nice. I don't know. I like it.
I like alone showers. The only thing I like in the shower with me is a beer.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not a fan of duo showers myself.
Yeah, no.
I like to share the hot water.
No, yeah. Showering with somebody's only sexy within like the first like month you're with them.
There's a window.
Yeah, but after that, it's like, hey, you're taking up my space, and it's really shower dependent.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty protective, especially, you know, as a double X chromosome female identified person. I like my water scalding hot.
Yeah.
You know, to the point where it'll melt your skin off.
Yes.
So like I'm like, somebody tries to slip like a Luke cool shower into my world, I'm like, get that shit out of here.
Yeah, and as a dude,
I'll see you later.
I'm always cold because I'm wet, but now I'm on the back end because the lady always wants the shower on them, and
Pretty
then
much.
you're just like,
Right.
yeah,
No, it's,
yeah, no,
there's got to be a better way. I actually have seen those double showers, and that seems pretty solid.
yeah.
You got to have a lot of real estate for that, though.
This is, you know what? This is making me think. This is also like fucking in pools. Fucking in water is only cool when it's in a movie.
Yeah.
Like real life,
looks like a great idea.
It's really complicated.
Yep. Yeah, you gotta have it worked out in advance, and probably, I don't know, experience probably makes you better at it.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, how many people are you fucking in an ocean?
No. Oh, well. All right. I mean, I'm just thinking.
I mean, I'm throwing all the water possibilities in here.
You need leverage. I mean, that's
you need leverage. Number one.
Manatees go to shallow water to fuck because they actually have leverage to be able to get what they need done.
Well, now you're making me even more scared because I didn't even bring in the fact of like, you know, I'm trying to like make sexy time happen in the ocean, and now I got things that could possibly sting me. Like I get like I'm giving all here, and now all of a sudden I get jellyfished.
Dude, that's a manta ray. You're thinking of a manta. I mean, you're thinking of poor Steve Irwin again. We come back to him. Oh my God, pour one out for Steve. Shout out to a real one.
Shout out to a real one.
No, we're talking about manatees, man. They're like the friendly sea
Oh,
cows.
those guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They just be like, sup?
Yeah, what's going on? Hey, I'm a couch. I'm a couch in the ocean.
Couch with whiskers.
Yeah, and then like you trip over one of those where you're trying to like bang one out in the ocean. Yeah, no, thank you.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I think they'd be all right.
All right,
That's
you
cushion.
can hit them with boats. They live.
Hey, you might get some leverage off the manatee.
Manatee.
Oh my God, that's dark. I just now see. I gotta work on my listening. I got too keyed up about the manatee. I missed the part where you were talking about running over them with boats.
You can run over them with boats. That does happen.
So I got to run it back for a second and acknowledge an awesome book that I'm reading right now. So this is actually maybe my official plug because the other things was more like news updates.
Okay.
But the official plug is An Immense World.
Okay.
By Ed Yong.
Okay.
And this book is about animal sensory perception and how their sensory systems are very different from the 5-sense taxonomy that we use to categorize human senses. And so this relates to manatees because manatees are very touch oriented.
Really?
They use a lot of their whiskers around their face. They have like a
Yeah.
whole face full of whiskers, so like a walrus or other pinnipeds do. And they use that to nudge things to determine whether it's food or not. So then you imagine this poor motherfucker like
Taking an outward motor to the face.
because they listen to this man. I'm learning so much about you right now from your reaction to this.
The things that I find funny are wrong. Like whenever something is said that is very like it should not be said, that is the shit I'm gonna laugh at. And then things like that, like grisly murder stuff. I'm just always like, okay, like, you know, and it's like internally I realize that this is wrong, but the reason I find it funny is because it's wrong, and so I'm just like. Oh man! Again, so I don't know.
I love it.
Listener, I'll try to change it, but I'm sorry.
I don't know if you need to change it. We need the polarizing. So you said that you don't like conflict, but I do think like there is something to strong opinions, and it's nice. I mean, that's what worked about like you and Steve sparring, and I felt like that was a fandom based spar, and like it's always good to have like a little bit of friction, comedy friction. As with good sex, it's always nice to have friction.
It's true.
You know?
It's true.
So I think. The running back to your guest selection, I did want to give you one stat. So I did do one number-based stat. So I downloaded all of your episodes, titles, and refreshed myself on the guests and the focus. And I have your stats on how many collectors, how many fans, and how many hobbyists you had on.
Do we have a number for how many white guys?
No, I didn't look at demos.
That's a very show me the pie chart of that.
What do you think it is? I seriously have no idea.
I would say 9 out of 10 white guys.
You think so? Aww.
Yeah.
Well,
that's it's a podcast.
If you get inquisitive and you decide that you want to change that, I'm sure you can actively do something about it. I mean, I was more looking at just collectors, fans, and hobbyists.
All right.
So, do you have a guess on which one was like the most represented category?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm gonna say hobbies trump collections
by a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Collections are harder to find.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we might have known that back in the day, but it's definitely like back in the day, meaning like when we did this in August of 2021. Right. But yeah, it definitely became more evident. So you've got 55 hobbyists and 27 fans and 24 collectors.
Holy shit.
So
fans beating out...
Fans beating it out. But
fans beating out collecting.
And granted, that's my category. Mm-hmm. So included in that, we're all like... There are some people, if somebody was in a band, that's a hobby.
Okay.
But if they like music and go to shows, it's sort of a little bit... I guess going to shows is still a hobby, so I think I classed it as a hobby. But if it's just about the genre of music, then I counted it as a fandom episode.
Did movies go under fandom?
Movies go under fandom as long as it's about like a franchise or a set.
So like
if it's
Terminator.
about somebody actually collecting movies, that counts as a collection.
That makes sense. Okay, so like the Zach Bender, Jamie Filer episode of like collecting Blu-rays and VHS tapes and all that stuff. Okay, that makes total sense to me. Yep, I'm with you.
All right, so I'm curious. Oh, go ahead. You're going to say something. No. So along those lines, I want to replay a clip of my hot take from episode 27 where we were talking, because we were talking about working with collectors.
The live cast.
And I had my hot take. It's everybody pardon the poor audio on this, but I want to know where you stand on this after talking to 108 people now.
Okay.
My potentially unpopular opinion, but also I think the most fun shot fired. You know, my first hot take, and that is that all collectors are psychopaths.
All collectors, yeah.
All collectors are slightly psychotic. They are.
That's something I'm discovering from doing the show. We're going to be talking about that on the later half of the show.
Yeah, I think that. Well, yeah, I don't know, psychopath. I think it's maybe a bit too strong, but there is definitely something. It's not. There's some. Okay, I don't mean this in a negative way. There is something off about collectors, but it's not a negative thing that's off. But there is something a little squirrely, something a little weird. This whole idea of like you need to hoard this specific thing, like. That seems fucking weird. And people's collections can seem weird, you know. If I walked into a house, somebody had like a cuckoo clock collection. Just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
But to somebody, they're like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever, you know, and I love my I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Cocks, you know.
We've all been there.
Yeah. You know.
There's different phases of life, and sometimes you just end up CFCC.
Yeah. Okay, so there's got to be a cuckoo clock where it is a dick, right? There's got to be a cuckoo cock.
There has to be.
There's got to be.
What comes out of it?
A dick. It's got to be a dick. Like,
oh, the dick comes out.
Yeah.
Or is it a dick? I thought it was a dick, and then something came out of the dick.
No, I mean, well, it could be a bird with a gigantic boner. That could be what comes out of the clock. Like, it's noon and like 12 times, like, just
What if another dick came out of the
like aliens? There's a dick inside the dick.
so much.
It's a possibility.
Man, where can I get one of those?
Well, we'll have to get somebody out to talk about cuckoo clocks.
I mean, maybe is that another part of the like franchise, like the men's sex toy franchise that you're planning on starting with with Nick Glavin?
Wait, what? When did we talk about this?
Well, there was the pocket pussy pyramid scheme. Remember this?
No, I don't.
Nobody in my life, like no dude friend has ever been like, hey man, can I come into your house and throw a party where I try to sell you shit? No.
Yeah, like there's not a bunch of dudes that are lining up like, hey, we're gonna have a pocket pussy party. It's like, go ahead, like get all your friends together,
Yeah.
we'll buy them wine, and you guys can come over and you can look at all my wares out of my weird attaché case. So like that's not gonna happen. Like, it's never gonna be like, I don't want to do that with you. Are you serious?
Yes.
No.
Just like 10 dudes sitting around, like all looking at pocket pussies, like, oh yeah, that's great.
That would be a dope fucking skit for a comedy sketch show.
It's like, this is definitely one of those things where I'm so glad women do this instead of dudes. Because like if dudes did this, it would get dark and scary quick. Because I feel like the whole true romance parties, it's like it's girls and it's giggly time and like let's have some wine and let's have fun and woo. Whereas like if it's dudes, like number one, this is a purely liquor only party. Like if you're into a thing where you're talking pocket pussies with other dudes, you're definitely all drinking hard liquor.
Definitely.
And it's one of those,
There's like a bourbon tasting at the same time.
Yeah, and again, just the amount of dudes that are in that, like, you're talking really creepy guys. Like, you're talking guys that buy porn, but they don't go to, like, Lion's Den to buy porn. They go to, like, some undisclosed, unmarked location that's just like a cinder block house.
Oh, no.
Like, listener, have you ever seen 8mm with Nick Cage? That's where those dudes buy their porn at.
Who go to the pocket pussy party?
Yeah, if you go to a pocket pussy party, you're into some weird shit, dude.
On the other hand, if they're getting their bespoke porn from these cinder block locations, like on a need-to-know basis, maybe they're really well appointed to be able to buy the most expensive pocket pussy in your like attaché case, so you can get out of this pyramid scheme, get out from under that pyramid scheme debt.
I do feel like if you're buying your porn from an unmarked cinder block house, there probably is pocket pussy parties going on there.
Triple PP.
That seems
together with your CFCC.
100%.
That's the tagline.
I love Nick, man. I need to have
That
him
was
on.
really
I need to
funny.
have him on
That
for another
segment
show.
was
That dude's hilarious, and I'm planning on getting tattooed by him soon. I'm actually I'm getting tattooed on the 24th by Dana Brunson. So
Sick.
Yeah, and then I got another tattoo that's like still up in the air right now because my other tattoo artist, we booked an appointment, but currently they're having health issues.
Okay.
So we're trying to reschedule. But once I get this thing done with Dana, I'm going to have time, and I want to book something with Nick.
What's Dana gonna do on you?
He's doing a Lady Liberty on me. So
that's cool.
Yeah, he's really good at doing lady heads. Like that's that's like the thing that he's really well known for. And so I definitely wanted a woman, but I didn't know. Like I don't want like a cowboy hat lady. Like because I'm not cowboyish. But
Not with that attitude.
No, not with that attitude. You know, and I already got a nurse tattoo for my mom, so I was like, well, I can't have like a lady with it, you know. And then it's like I'm going down then I'm like, well, what hat do you put on a lady head? You know? Yeah.
Well, any hat. I mean,
well, that's true. Like, what are you saying that
you trying to put a hat on me?
You're trying to say ladies
Hey,
can't be? You're trying to say women can't be welders in 2023? What the fuck?
That's right. Put a welding helmet
Yeah,
on it.
yeah. There you go.
Yeah, put a I don't know.
We could be astronauts too. Damn
a
it.
Sailor hat on it. Like, so okay. This is I know I have seen your nurse tattoo before, but I can't remember. And it's your mom.
Yeah.
Is it a sexy nurse?
No. And
You're
having,
like, I need you to make this nurse motherly.
Yeah, make this the most. Yeah, that fucks me up in porn when there's like nurse scenes. I'm like, fast forward. Like, can't. This is too fucked up. Can't make. This is conflicting two different worlds right now.
I think that's a good philosophy. I think I would have the same. If I had a tattoo for one of my parents, I wouldn't allow it to be sexualized either.
Yeah, no.
It's good to draw those boundaries.
Yeah. That kind of. I question things about it if like your parent has a job that you find sexy.
Right.
That's some Freudian shit right there.
It is. Well,
Yeah.
It's a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
But here we are. We're unpacking.
We're unpacking.
That's why we're in the anthropology of tank section.
That's right.
So were there any other, my reflection after, I think I'm right there with you on the collectors as psychopaths. I mean, it was my idea, but I think I find reinforcement for that. I think it's like the combination of the tenacity to hunt things down. I do find, like, I think with collectors especially, there's that drive that consistently, it is usually like, as a kid I got into this, or when I was young and in formative years I got into this, and like sometimes it's like there's just this really strong attachment to trying to recreate something, or trying to create the ideal thing, or you start out casually collecting, as you said before. And I really liked that phrase because I think that's a good way of putting it. And then the intensity just like grows.
Yeah, I think a lot of people end up casually collecting at first, and then it manifests itself into a full blown collection. Just because, again, when you start collecting something, you're normally with collections, you're getting something that's now taking up space in the place you live, and that's a commitment. Because you're now bound by physical restrictions, and you find this thing so important that you are willing to find space for it within your current domicile. And that's important. You're putting value on this thing. So yeah, I don't know. I do find it interesting, and I do find it. I think another part of it. I've talked about this a lot on the show is, and I don't know, maybe this is like a hunter-gatherer thing, but just like the hunt of procuring something, like getting something, buying something, finding something. I always relate it back to like going to the video store as a kid, and you go in knowing one video that you want to rent, but then the second one's totally up for grabs, and you just come upon something in the wild.
The in-person rabbit hole.
Yeah. So like for me, that right now that's collecting vinyl, where it's like I go to the record store and I got my list, but there's stuff that's off list, and I find it. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even know this existed. And I love that of like capturing that thing in the wild. I guess it's kind of like a Pokemon thing, like where you just you take your ball out and you capture something.
Well, and being able to discover, I like discovering diamonds in the rough. So being able to feel like you weren't sure if it was going to be any good, and you took a gamble on it, like that's kind of a cool feeling too, and it makes me feel cool when I.
Although I recently got snake bit by that.
How so?
Let's
hear it.
So I love the Jim Blossoms. Shout out Gentry McGuire, Hannah Alcho Cinco, a fellow Jim Blossoms fan.
Oh my God.
And
love that.
Yeah, so I went and I sold a bunch of Super Nintendo games to Paper Street over in Norwood. If you're in the Cincinnati area, they're a really great pop culture shop that has a shitload of toys and videos and all kinds of stuff. They also have a vinyl section. And so I had all this money on credit from trading shit in, so I was just able to scoop up a bunch of records. And one record I got was Jim Blossom's Live. It was recorded in somewhere in Ohio, and I was like, "Oh, this is awesome."
Where?
I don't know. It's like it's someplace I'm guessing is a suburb of Cleveland or something. It's something where it's like it's in Harrison, Ohio, and it's just like, where the fuck is that? But they didn't mic the crowd. So there's like multiple parts on this live album where they're like, "Hey, how's everybody doing tonight?" and then it's silence, and it's just like, "Oh man, this is hurting."
Kind of a bummer.
Yeah. And there's like another part where he's like, "I came here to do two things tonight: chew bubble gum and kick ass. I'm out of bubble gum," and then it's just dead. And it's just like, oh man, this is rough.
This is reminding me of the comic strip or it was a blog that was based off of Garfield, and it was called Garfield Without Garfield. So it was just John Arbuckle like sitting around talking to himself.
Oh, that's depressing too.
It's well worth a look up.
Yeah.
That's I think Odie might even still be in there, but like
nice,
without
but
Garfield's
no Garfield.
like without Garfield's thought bubbles, the cartoon gets pretty dark pretty fast.
Damn.
Yeah, that one might be in the deep web at this point. I think it was at least a decade ago.
Nice.
Have along this lines of the dark side, have there been interviews that made you feel emotional?
I've talked about stuff that I've gotten emotional about during the podcast, but I've never talked to somebody at length where I got emotional. Like, yeah, I've never had anything where I've like felt like bummed out or sad the whole time. But there have been moments on the show when I got choked up over something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How about like hot, like kind of more like mad or like like, I don't know, just like it got you keyed up, you know? Riled. That's the word. That's the word. Riled.
I would definitely say I got riled up during the Queen City Beer episode where we had like it was me and it was my dude Luke and Matt Damaris and Gnarly Gnome, and me and Gnome just like kept arguing the entire time.
Yeah.
And it was just this thing where I'm like, why the fuck is this happening?
How did this become
Yeah,
adversarial?
like why
Yeah.
why are you doing this right now? But it happened, and I do distinctly remember after like I did talk to him, and I was like, "Hey, man, I'm like, it's all right, like because I felt bad because
You want to make him look good.
well, yeah, and there was
You're
like
the host.
there was like this point of the show where I realized that this was different from all the other episodes because I'd never had a guest where like it wasn't just like one thing. We were actively arguing over different shit, and at some point I was like, "Oh fuck!" Like I can't joke my way out of this, or I can't like, it's not just like, hey, we'll agree to disagree. Like, there was like multiple times during the interview where he would like to take a very opposite opinion to me, and then we'd argue, and I'm just like, oh, okay. And so after the show, I was like, hey man, I'm like, it's okay that like we argued, like I'm not mad at you or whatever. And he was like, no, and he was, and his idea was, he was like, I just wanted to like make like an interesting podcast, and I do think it is an interesting episode. It's definitely one of the most downloaded things of all time that I've ever done. But it was also an episode that was weird just because very rarely have I had that energy, and I do have a part of me where if I do feel something is like I will bully people. So like if I'm like, okay, we're not being nice, okay, now I'm going to be a dickhead.
Yeah.
And so and a lot and then like
I remember that one. I mean, I do. I remember
Yeah.
that episode, and I was like, that was Tank giving him a chance to back off.
Yeah.
Like I definitely sensed the moments where you were trying to add levity or like even add like a small relinquishment of like, all right, I'm giving like a little bit of ground.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it's not me trying to pile on that, but just saying like, it is interesting when somebody chooses to go the other way and then just seeing like,
Right.
all right, what happens next? And especially like all of us do have a little switch that we flip
Yeah.
where we may know something about ourselves. Like I know I tend to be like pretty outspoken and stuff. So I sometimes dial that back to try to give other people space to speak, like to make sure that there's just like room to breathe in the conversation. But then if I sense that either I'm being talked down to, that's a little switch that I flip where I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna have to dial it up a little bit here to be present in this conversation, because otherwise there's no air to share.
Yeah, and that's and definitely like that's kind of the feeling I get. Like I don't like that side of me, but there is that side of me.
Yeah,
That
you
when
got
that when pushed, I will be just a fucking dickhead and I will bully people. And it's just like, what are you gonna do about it? Like, what do you want to do? You know, I'm just
Here
gonna like you started this. Now we're down this road of me
going.
just being an asshole, because I can be an asshole too. You know, it just.
Right.
Yeah, so yeah, that was I don't know.
was an interesting
Yeah,
one.
it was
Yeah.
it was interesting because it is like, you know, at the end of the day, it is like a very memorable episode, and it is very unique in the fact that it really is like the only guest where I've gotten like heated for a long period of time. It wasn't like just a segment. There was multiple times where we were sparring. And yeah, I don't know, you know, I don't think I really want to do that. I think
It takes a lot of energy.
well, and it just goes in the opposite direction of the show, because again, you know, I mean, my idea is like whenever I bring people in, like I'm trying to highlight them and I'm trying to, you know, say good things about them, and I'm not trying to get in depth fights about stuff. I see a lot of things as like I'm definitely the world is gray person. I'm definitely somebody who thinks that a lot of things are subjective.
Agreed.
And there's different.
He was very dogmatic.
Yeah, there's very.
By the way, listener, it's Listerman.
That's that was like straight one where I was like, all right, this is okay. This is getting squirrely. Yeah,
It was hilarious.
yeah,
Semantic. Passion, man.
yeah.
Passion
and I was like,
begets
all right. Well, okay.
rant.
Yeah,
That was a rant show.
Yeah, that was ranty. But but again, it is you know, it is memorable.
Yeah.
Because it is a real rare episode where it's not the me you normally see on the show.
as far as getting choked up when you felt those kinds of feelings, does that feel uncomfortable for you on your pod, or are you like up for that? I know you're not necessarily like chasing it, but if
Yeah.
it comes, is it like, well, that was
No,
actually kind of good.
yeah, I don't like have any I always think of this is dumb, but it's true. Did you ever watch Flavor of Love on VH1?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Do you remember New York from Flavor of Love?
Oh, yes.
All right. So there was this thing that New York said on Flavor of Love. It's always stuck with me. She's like, she's like, doves cry, dogs cry, you cry, we all cry. And it's just like, yeah, everybody cries. Like, that's just the reality of the situation. I mean, if you don't cry, like, and I think this is also part of me being born in this weird time of like, I'm 40 now. So like I lived in a world before the internet. Now I live in a world with the internet. And I also grew up in a time of like, I grew up in a time of toxic masculinity. I know what that is. And at the same time, I try to not be, but there's always a part of me that is, because like I straddle these two worlds. I am very much a person where it's like, I don't like to show weakness. If I'm in pain, I'm not going to tell you. Like, I am very much of a believer of like just being a dude and fucking toughing shit out and dealing with it. But saying all that, I am also the same guy who's like, I cry at the drop of a hat in movies, and
Really?
I cry a lot during movies.
What is it? Is it like an ugly cry, or is it more like is it just like a few?
I get misty.
Yeah.
If you hit me with music, I get misty.
Oh, I know.
So like
Those motherfucking score. People,
Yeah.
Just like, whoa.
So
they get me.
Yeah. So if I do cry, I'm just like, it happened, And I think the only time I came close to that on the podcast was I talked about my friend Grace who died a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And that got me choked up because of just like talking about her and that situation and, her being a young person and
what did Abby had a loss that was like parallel to that.
Yeah. Oh, the golfing episode with Abby?
Yeah. Cause I think that was the episode where you talked about
it.
Grace.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, definitely I got choked up and, I don't want to like cry in front of people, but at the same time, it's a human response. And if you care about something and I do, or you love somebody or whatever, I mean, crying's going to happen, and that's okay.
Has anybody else cried? Not to like make anybody else feel bad or uncomfortable. This is asked in like an interesting.
I honestly don't think anybody's ever cried on the podcast.
Okay.
I'm
trying to think of anybody that I've heard choked up.
I don't think that we've ever went down down that part of the well where somebody got choked up about something that happened.
Going back to your, this is actually kind of a little bit way back, but you were talking about taking up space with collections and
Mm-hmm.
making the choice to have a collection and what it means. And so you said that you have like a one in, one out rule right now. Is that a self-governance or is that a print governance?
So it's a little of both, but at the same time.
And by the way, listener, just to recap, we've probably heard the term governor, but that's a term that Tank coined. So do you want to gloss that first?
Yeah. So a governor is somebody who is related to you in the collection, and they put like some level of control over the collection so that the collection cannot just go unchecked. Because like when I lived alone, or when I lived with my roommate Thor, like it was very much like the collection could just kind of like go wherever. And then when I moved in with Lauren, it was very much like, all right, we got to check the collection to some level. We can't turn the whole house into fandom. Like I don't need fucking toys in every goddamn room, And so, yeah, so that's kind of where that's at. I mean, it's definitely having Lauren as the governor for me helps. And I've been able to skirt a little bit of that. Like if you look over, like over on our lattice work over there, I have like this. I have like an old school original Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt NES cart, and then I also have this like cool pink sculpture that my buddy Jamie made, and I threw it up there. And so it's kind of the things where I can kind of sneak them in occasionally. But yeah, it is good to like have some limit to how much I can just let collections bloom and go. And it also saves my pocketbook in a lot of ways. That's another big thing is
Sure.
like, and I also think another part of me, and I realize this because I get this from my dad, is my dad's a guy who he gets really like into something for like a 5 to 10 year period, and then does all the things and then drops it and shifts to another thing that he does for 5 to 10 years. And so I kind of feel that way with like a lot of my collections, like especially my toy collection. I've been collecting for 20 years now, and now it's like I very rarely go pick stuff up just because I'm like, well, I kind of got what I want, and occasionally there's
There are
some
other
stuff.
folks who are kind of in that same boat.
Yeah,
I think.
Sorry. I thought you were going to name off specific people that were in that boat.
Rob. I was thinking of Rob Bishop.
Oh, yeah.
'cause he said that he was at the end of his. I
Yeah.
was trying to think of anyone else. I get Justin Stewart still growing. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, his basement is insane. It's
I like that he moves stuff around. I actually do the same thing with my desk.
Yeah.
At work, I have like all my collectibles are there, and I rotate them in and out and just curate them like a museum.
Yeah.
And people are always like, "Oh, your desk always looks different," and I'm like, "Yeah, because if I don't move them around and feature different things, they don't even fucking exist."
That's interesting. Yeah, I'm a non-mover. I usually keep my stuff in place, and so it's interesting. Like especially dealing with Justin, where like Justin has basically like his own little mini museum in his basement in his studio, and he does switch it around. I also find it interesting with Justin is he literally plays with his toys. Like if he's thinking about something,
That was
he'll
awesome.
take a toy off the shelf and he'll like start like manipulating it and
I'm
like
stealing that
reposing
one.
it.
I heard that one and I was like, "That's a really interesting way to work
That's
through
a
that
cool
problem."
idea. Yeah, I like
Do
that
it.
a lot.
What else have you learned about people from doing this podcast? What have you observed about humanity? Big question.
That is a big question. I don't know. I think that people it's just nice to see people happy. It really is just nice to see people talk about something that they enjoy and something that brings them happiness and something that they're into and that they find comfort in, a passion, a thing that legit just because there's so much stuff in this world that isn't happy. And it's hard to be happy, as somebody who has definitely dealt with anxiety and depression all my life, like there's a lot of times where I'm not happy. And so to be happy feels great. And it's nice to see other people be happy. And that is part of the fun of the show is when people do get to come on and geek out about the thing that they're into, they're filled with happiness. I can't think of anybody like walking off the show sad or anything. Everybody seems to be pretty fucking jazzed.
We build these little oases for ourselves of people that we feel safe with, spaces that feel good to us, the things around us that we actually care about. And you kind of hope that that is the dominating thing. And like when you have thought carefully about that or like are really, really good at following your gut, that does seem to happen. And that's a pretty cool thing. Like if that encompasses like both the actual belongings that are around you as well as how you spend your time, you're a pretty lucky human being.
That's true. Yeah.
Anything else? Well, how about other new phrases and concepts that I've seen constructed on the show, quality and quantity collectors,
Yep.
and I had the 3 album theory.
Yes.
And we unpacked I can't remember. Actually, we didn't unpack 3 album theory, and like I think we've unpacked it on many other episodes. So like,
yeah, the Ian Robinson 3 album theory of the first album is good, the second album is a better version of the first album, and the third album is the make or break, where either you keep doing what you do on the first 2 albums, and now there's no reason to keep listening to you because you're not evolving, or you go completely off script and do something completely different, and therefore you lose your fan base because you didn't sound like the old you, and trying to meld a Venn diagram of those 2 things together to make the third album to then go on to have a career.
any other terms that you think, I don't know, are important ways of understanding these concepts of collecting, hobbies, fandom, the things that are not directly related to our survival, but they are these things that are imperative to our identity?
I will say something that I would like to explore more is the idea of group versus singular. I feel like that's something that I haven't really drilled down yet because there are hobbies and collections that are singular activities, there are group activities, and they kind of blend. So like, you might do something like you might collect comic books or toys, and it's very singular. But if you become friends with the person at your local pop culture store and you find friends there, now it becomes a group thing. Or if you're going to Comic Cons and you're interacting with people, that becomes a group thing. So I think that's something I would like to talk about more of, is that idea of like, is this something you're doing for just solo happiness, or is there something where you're going to be part of a larger community and interact with people? I think that like Reddit is a good space for that.
Yeah, that's a very good space for that. There's like all kinds of rants and rabbit holes on Reddit.
Exactly, yeah.
And that online community is a way of doing something that feels like an individual hobby, but sharing it with other people.
Yeah.
There was Luke who does the shipping and sipping. That's his episode, and that's kind of a community thing. Roller hockey guy, what's his name?
Oh, Dave.
Yeah.
Dave. Fuck, I don't. I about said Dave Ellering.
I think that's right. I think it was Ellering.
No,
Yeah.
it's
okay. Sorry, I put you on the spot.
Oh no. Well,
no, it's all good. I was just thinking about him and his team.
Well, instantly, I just think Kentucky Dave,
right?
Because that's his
name.
That's his name.
Like his show name, not show name, but his game name.
Yeah.
But yeah, those guys. Just vamping for you while you look that up. I'm gonna gloss, but like he talks about starting a hockey league, and it's like all the people that came out of the woodwork and kind of were just like sort of dog whistled into this thing that they knew that they wanted. I think that's a really cool thing. And like, I've certainly played lots of amateur sports that start that way.
Wellerding, not Ellering, Wellerding.
Sorry, Dave.
Yeah, sorry.
It was a really fun episode to listen to that. And I didn't know anything about it beforehand. So.
Luke Effler is laughing right now.
Yeah, I think there's just been some really interesting things that have come up. But it's interesting. You started with things that were more community based, and I think that was one of your questions for a while. But it might have like fallen off. Like, is this a solo thing or a group thing? So also those two guys who met, like doing deathmatch wrestling, and it was really adorable. Like that Welsh guy like became besties with a guy in the States, and like they. Yeah. And
the Welsh guy is currently wrestling. Like he just, if you look him up, it's Tom Milner, but he's under like, it's like Tom Milski, I think it is his wrestling name now. Let me throw a shout out to Tom. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
But he is legit right now wrestling in Europe, and he's doing pro wrestling shows. I don't think he's done deathmatch stuff yet, but he's working towards it.
Right. Yeah, he sounded like he was primed and ready to do it sometime soon.
This man is all about getting thrown in the light bulbs. This is what he's living for.
It was hilarious that came up on Pete's Epi as well. Like he was like, "Oh yeah, I've had that done. It's not too bad."
Yeah, go follow him on IG. It's Tomsky Mall, TOMSKI, and then Mall MULL.
Awesome. Well, if he ever decides that he wants to do wordplay and become Tomsky Mall, MAUL.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
I really hope that he comes back to the States, and I hope to get a second interview with him. He was super cool. It was also funny because his buddy Sammy that he's staying with, Sammy and his wife are straight edge, and Tom is not. And so Tom, like after the show, we're drinking, and Tom's like, "So when I come back here, I can drink with you?" I'm like, "Absolutely, bud. Like, come on down."
Just the ultimate buddy cop comedy.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah.
That was a pretty adorable episode.
It was also interesting talking to him and talking about he got freaked out when he saw cops with guns.
Oh yeah,
because
that is kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah, and I can kind of have a relatable moment because I remember like being in high school and being in Mexico City and like seeing a cop with like an AK-47 or like some other like large caliber semi-automatic, and I was just like, whoa, that's weird.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so I can just imagine like coming from like Wales where like, you know, like cops have like billy clubs and shit, like nobody has a gun on them, and all of a sudden you're in Atlantic City and you see some guy with a Glock on his hip, you're like, whoa, okay, this is weird.
Damn, yeah, all right. It's almost like you're thinking to yourself,
do it,
do it,
kill me, do it, I'm here, do it now.
Yes, that's exactly what you're thinking.
So as we start to wind down, we're getting into the category that I call potpourri. This is
potpourri.
Yeah, it's just like all the other questions.
All right.
So vibe check, how you doing there?
I'm doing great, hanging out.
I
might grab a beer from the fridge here at some point.
Yeah,
but
go
we're
get
doing
it
good.
for sure. Yeah, I'll have to figure out. I know where I can vamp for you. Yeah, so
when you get to the vamping point, give me the point, and I'll make the run.
I sure will. Well, I wanted to. I mean, we've already heard some. I think I hope listeners that you've enjoyed it. I hope Tank you've enjoyed it. Like, I've heard some clips of like different segments and bits that I thought were fucking hilarious.
Skits and bits.
But I'm curious, like, what the funniest guests and like conversations you have been.
I always love having on Mike from Craft Brewed Sports. That dude cracks me up every time he comes on. He's fucking hilarious. Any of the episodes
That's Mike Burling?
Yeah, Mike Burline. Yeah, Mike
Burline.
Yeah. He's fucking great.
Mr. Bobblehead.
Yeah, Mr. Bobblehead, host of Craft Brewed Sports. He's always good. The Craft Brewed Sports guys in general. Mookie and Scott. Those guys are awesome. And then I want to have Caesar on someday. Caesar is
Mookie and Scott. Wait, go back. Mookie and Scott were
video
games.
No, they came on for the Craft Brewed Sports episode.
Yes.
And we talked about pissing in urinals or pissing in troughs at sporting events, which we all agreed is fucking a traumatizing event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking archaic.
I know, right?
I also just can't believe you guys don't have doors on your shitters. Like, I mean,
which is also traumatic.
So I will happily like trade off having a door on my shitter for having to sit through a couple of like pure romance.
Yeah.
Wine parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I'll throw down the lady tax for that.
Yeah. I mean, now it's less and less that you have them on door, but every once in a while you run into a bathroom where it's just a toilet and no door. And it's just like, wow,
This is totally Byzantine.
We're playing by prison rules, aren't we? Yeah. This is what we're doing now.
100%.
Yeah. So Burlon's always great. I love the episodes of Paul. Those are fun. He cracks me up. Cody cracks me up. Luke Young is fucking hilarious anytime he comes on. The Bobby Bronson episode is really funny. I'd love to have Bobby back on. Anytime Billy DeVore and his wife comes on, Alyssa, like they're awesome. They're a lot of fun.
Is Alyssa an Alyssa DeVore or is that Alyssa Cervisi?
DeVore.
Okay, different.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
there's been several Alyssas on the podcast.
Dang. Yes. Alyssa Cervisi, Witchy.
Right. Oh no, that was one of my favorites. It was Alyssa, when you did the reading, when you did Tank's tarot reading, I thought that was really funny because it was, you were doing his cards and you were like, oh my God, you have 2 cup cards. That's adorable. I love that for you. And then just hearing you do like, encouraging him to do a little bit of navel gazing and thinking about like, what it means to be the King of Cups, which like, what a fucking fitting card for this man. Like that was pretty sweet. He is getting a beer, so I'm vamping for him. I'm going to note that in Columbus, I clappity clap clap. That's the Billy Goat Tank coming back to his seat. There in Columbus, there are 2 sweet, like sort of witchy stores. One is called Witch Lab, and it's over in Franklinton. I'll give them a plug.
My friend owns Witch Lab. Well, she was Trixie Toothfist when she was in roller derby. Real name's Tiffany. She used to she used to be the piercer at Pierceology. Used to be one of the head people down there.
Second funny connection. One of the guys on my design team was her next door neighbor. Did she live in Philly? Or is this a different person?
I believe that she started out in Philadelphia and then came to Columbus.
How did you like having your tarot read?
I like it. I'm fine with it. I don't have... I enjoy that stuff. Like, I don't put too much stock into it, but I enjoy the, just the what if of it.
Yeah, it's a good time. I think it's a fun way to reflect on stuff. I've gotten into divining cards. What my gateway was, I've always had a big crush on. Well, not always. Thanks and props to Jamie Filer for this. I developed a crush on Becky Cloonan, and so I just love her art and I love her comics. And I met her at Columbus. Had a con this year. I met her there, and she has a divining deck, so I got into her divining deck, and that was actually a really fun way into tarot. So I have a set of tarot cards, and I just, if I have a question in my mind, I'll sometimes use it to like reflect on stuff and think about stuff.
I gotta unfuck myself. It's a Leisha DeVore, not Alyssa DeVore. Oh. I always fuck up A names.
Oh,
so if you have an A name, I'm gonna fuck it up if you come on the show. So
okay.
Alicia, I apologize. But this is also the same thing I had with Alyssa of a couple of creeps. I'm just like, and she's like Alyssa Milano, and I'm like, oh, and then I still fuck it up.
I remember
to
that
all the
now,
ladies
yeah.
with the A names out there, shout out, I love y'all, and I'm sorry I fucked up your names.
I did this to you, Tank. I'm sorry. I'm quizzing you on guest names. I actually mostly wrote the guest names down because I didn't want you to have to recall that. So sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I have always loved the way that Pete Fernandez talks, and like his episode with you cracked me up because you guys have a really good rapport. So I mean, his bit about his beard, you asked him what distinguishes him from other DJs, and here was his response.
Okay.
I've like probably the biggest beard in DJs in Cincinnati. I don't even know all the DJs. I know only like a couple of DJs, but I'm just gonna make that bold claim.
There's some dude out there. It's like motherfucker.
Oh, really? You see it? He's got a bigger one than me.
I'm hitting my knees with my beard, and I'm DJing. No, dude, I don't know. I don't know if that guy exists or not. I'm just saying that.
I don't have a massive beard. If the listener is wondering, it's like. It's
pretty big beard.
It's gone down to my belly button before, and then right now it's like chest level. But
it's a sizable beard, listener.
Respect.
Apparently, Pete's approaching beard size the same way I approach dick size.
Exactly.
Where you underplay it. That way, when you see it, it's like, oh, it's way bigger than I thought.
Under promise and over deliver.
That's how you do it. Yeah, good job, Pete.
That's the way forward. Yeah, that he's so full of life and joy, and his I don't know. I love the idea of. I don't think I've ever seen a DJ get out and dance with the crowd, but that sounds like a lot of fun. So I really need to catch a Pete show sometime.
You should. It is good times.
You guys already know how I feel about the Predator episode. I'm really like working it to death here, but I also gotta call us back to one of your hilarious. This is might be one of your finest comedic moments.
Okay.
Then the Predator the Predator does have a chance to kill Lady Cop, but he does a scan for her, realizes he's pregnant. Because the Predator is a pro-life conservative, he said no. He said, that's a baby, and I'm not going to kill a baby.
No.
And that's why...
God made that baby.
Yeah.
That's what the Predator's saying.
DeSantis Predator 2024, let's go. Get him on...
I keep playing these clips and not giving you any context for which Predator or where this is from, but I believe this is Predator 2.
This is Predator 2.
Which is a terrible movie.
Yeah, it's bad, but they're on the train, and yes, the Predator does discover that the lady cop is pregnant, so he does not kill her. Because, again, pro-life conservative Predator.
Had you worked that out in your head before you said it?
We just started talking.
You're funny, man.
Thanks.
This is a bit of Chris Farley moment for me.
Remember the time? Yeah, no, that
was awesome.
Which is the exact thing I do every time I meet famous people. I'm so bad at meeting famous people because that's always what I do. I'm like, hey, remember that time? And it's just like they're like, yeah, it's my career. It's like, cool,
I did that.
Cool, awesome.
I did do that.
Yeah. I don't know what to say to famous people. It's always weird.
There is a through line to these callbacks, though. I think one of the things I love hearing you do as a listener is I just think you're such a great you're a great story appreciator and recapper. So if you want to, whether you want to pick apart why a story doesn't work, or whether you want to talk about what's magical about it, you have such a great meta commentary. So it's almost I do think that on that level you're kind of meant to be you're meant to be a commenter on pop culture.
Oh.
It just feels like it's right for you, and it makes me laugh.
Awesome, thank you.
It's a good time. I thought the gardening episode was also pretty funny. The one where you were talking about middle class Midwestern white people vegetables. Matt Utter, that was a sweet episode.
Yeah, Utter was a fun time, and it was funny because when he came in to do the interview, he's like, "I'll be honest, man." He's like, "We know each other. We don't really have a lot in common, and we just kind of like hang out." And I was worried about the show, but it went well. And I'm like, yeah, it's a hang. And it was like, he was like, cool. And it is true because like Matt doesn't play video games. He doesn't watch any kind of movies or anything like that. Like he just like pop culture does not exist in Matt Utter's world.
Yeah,
like he brews beer and he chills.
He's a yeoman farmer.
Yeah, and maybe he'll watch like some sports occasionally, but he is very much a man of the land. And I am terrible in the kitchen and have no desire to cook or make things. And so, yeah, it was like a thing where it's like, all right, let's make this work, but let's figure it out. And that was a fun episode where we actually did become better friends from doing the podcast together.
I think I sensed that. I think the rapport was really strong by the end. So every time I told you this is potpourri, so these questions aren't always going to dovetail off of each other. Like every time I listen to your podcast, the episode ends, and then I'm not a subscriber, but for whatever fucking reason, I get kicked out into the Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh, really?
What the fuck is up with that? Is there like some kind of logarithm?
I mean,
Like, how does that happen? I'm listening to it in Spotify. What the hell is that?
me and Rogies are both short and bald, and so maybe that's it. You know, I mean, I'm constantly talking about hunting elk on this show.
Sensory deprivation.
Yeah, sensory
and
deprivation.
DMT.
Yeah, and having very like right wing politics just pop up out of nowhere.
Or interesting conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, you know.
I haven't had you. Have you had any conspiracy theorists on the show?
I have not. I have not had anybody whose hobby is conspiracy theory yet, although I would be interested in doing so. The problem is, here's the problem with conspiracy theory episodes. Generally, at some point, it goes back to, quote unquote, the Jews. And then things get real fucking awkward.
Yeah.
And I saw that happen to my...
It does always go back to the Jews. It's
Yeah.
so weird.
Yeah. My buddies...
Jewish here, by the way.
My buddies that had the Bastard Sermon had this guy that was coming on for a while. His name is Robert Reynolds. He's actually dead now. I'm not quite sure what happened, but he passed away at some point. But there was definitely like one of the episodes where he was like, 6 million seems like a lot. And it's like, whoa, okay. And he was like, he was of the mindset of like 9/11 didn't happen and like the moon landing was fake and like he had all the boxes for like everything was a lie, you know? And so it was just like, all right, man. And it was weird because as a human being, he was a sweet guy. Like he did seem like a likable enough dude, but then he was just saying like wild, crazy shit. And I think Cody dubbed it best when he said that like everything was like a mile wide, but like an inch deep with him, where you would try to talk about something in depth and it would start to fall apart. And then he would like just immediately pivot off onto something else. And
that's an interesting way of putting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is kind of the technique, isn't it?
Yeah. And then again, like the whole thing where like with conspiracy, like with so many conspiracy theory people, like, it all comes back to like the Jewish. I've never understood that. I don't get the whole like that. I just don't get the whole thing where it's like, let's blame this on Jewish people. It's like, why? Like, why is this always the scapegoat for like all these fucking crazy conspiracy theories? Like you put this on Catholics, or you could put this on like anybody.
Catholics will be in there sometimes too.
You could throw it on something else, but
certainly
it's
brown
just,
people
but it's just
get thrown under the bus as well.
But it's just weird that it's just this constant thing where it's just like constantly back on Jewish people. I'm like, I don't understand. So like that's the reason why I don't really want to have a conspiracy theory person on the show, is because
that's
like
a good point.
It just gets like weird and anti-Semitic, and I just and I don't understand that. Like I understand like racism. I'm not dumb. I understand racism.
No, that's not the part that you're.
But I don't understand the point where it's always like, and it's these people, and it's like that. Why do you come to this conclusion? Just seems really dumb.
Having to buckle in to do the backflip, or not the backflip, the gymnastic exercise that is having a conversation with a person like that, not giving them a microphone for the perspective, I guess, or giving them a microphone for the perspective, but really doing like doing a Jon Stewart level deconstruction of what they're saying is a lot of work to prep for and to prepare for and to be poised enough to not trying to suggest that you're not up for it, but like it is a different podcast. It can't really be a hang if it's that.
Yeah. Because you're like at that point you're like it's like this, it's this double bad thing where like not only are you giving somebody like a platform to talk about this shit, but now you're also now having to like get in the mud and fight with them about it. And I do think that is
worth having the fight when it comes up, but maybe don't curate it.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too. I mean, I do think that people are, something I've talked about many times on the show is about how malleable people are, and I do think the way that you do solve racism, sexism, like any kind of like thing where somebody's a bigot towards somebody because of something, is challenging them on those views and having a conversation where you're not yelling at them and shaming them, because that's what makes people double down. It's like, I mean, this is like the whole thing that like the media doesn't understand with like dealing with Trump, is they go off about him and then it just makes more people be like, well, fuck you, I'm on his side because I fucking hate you. you know,
Right.
and you're calling me a racist asshole to begin with. So why should I listen to anything you say? Whereas if you really want to deprogram people, you have to have a long form conversation that it doesn't involve shaming them, but involves them having self-discovery moments where then they are ashamed of what they've done.
And you have to give enough time to give air to what they actually believe, which is not. I think that time can be worthwhile,
Yes.
but maybe best done one on one.
Yeah, and it's definitely one of those things too where like, you know, I mean, are you going to save the entire world? Where, you know, it's like maybe you can deprogram somebody who's in your family or something like that because you actually care about them enough, but I don't want to get into like a thing where I'm fighting with somebody if like, you know, I don't want to have somebody in the basement where it's like, oh, January 6th was okay, you know, and like, and
Sure.
here's why. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, all right, man, like I don't have the time or the bandwidth to, you know, have this conversation and try and talk you out of something where, again, this goes back to the idea the show is meant to be fun and it's meant to bring happiness and joy and not to be a space where we're arguing and fighting with each other.
That makes sense. I'm going back to the history comment that you made. You
Cool.
made a comment about potentially. You made a comment about if you were Alter Tank, if you were some other version of yourself, you could see yourself having a history podcast. So
That'd be
let's
fun.
like talk about that. Let's hear what inspires you about that.
I don't know. I just like history. I like learning about stuff. I like learning about civilizations and thinking about like
Me too.
various cultures of the world and time periods in which things exist and all that. I think it's, you know, it's an interesting thing to think about how people lived and the lives they lived and what they did when they were on the planet, and also like technological limitation, you know, and how the world is so much different now. I always think back about like my great grandmother, you know, lived to be 100 years old, and just, you know, the shit that she saw change in her lifetime.
Yeah,
you know,
it's amazing.
I think that that's very cool. And, you know, living as myself now and the shit I've seen change in my lifetime, you know, it's, in some ways it seems like there's a lot of stuff that's just kind of stayed the same. And on another level, there's so much stuff that's advanced now. It's completely different.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, sure, cars are still cars, but now cars are different. You know,
Cars are different.
Yeah,
The way that we communicate with each other is very different.
Yeah.
The access that we have to each other.
Yeah, the access. Well, yeah. Well, in the access of like that you have to anybody now. You know what I mean? Like you can literally DM any celebrity you want. Like it's not like back in the day where if you wanted to write a letter to Kiss or you'd write a letter to like your favorite movie star and maybe they would see it, maybe they wouldn't. Who knows where that letter ends up? No, you can literally just hit somebody up online and be like, hey, you're a fucking dickhead, you know? And like just
You control anyone you want in the world,
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Just think about that. What a time to be alive.
Yeah, you can literally send a dick pic to anybody. So yeah, so technology. But-
Advancement. Yep. The cuckoo cock is not far away.
yeah, the cuckoo hawk is very much in our timeline. But yeah, it is interesting to see like, you know, just changes that have happened in the world and then also what that's done to us, you know, just across the board of humanity. I do think that the internet has become a thing where I think it's brought a lot of like subculture together where before you couldn't find people that were into the same weird shit you were. Now you can find anybody that's into the same weird shit that you are.
Reddit again, or subreddit.
Yeah, exactly.
Subreddits in Reddit.
Yeah, I think that like I think that's like happened a lot with like sexuality where people have, you know, like one of the hot button issues right now is like trans stuff where people are like, oh, like why is this happening? It's like, well, it's happening because more people are talking about it, and
Yes.
you know, there's more exposure to this thing now.
Visibility
And yeah,
matters.
and that's why you're seeing like it's not like something was put in the water or whatever. It's just no, people are seeing this now, and it's just all
vaccines.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, yeah. You get the vaccine, and then boom, all of a sudden you're like
Either autistic or trans.
I'm jumping. I'm one or the other.
Yeah.
I'm in a lane. But no, it just is. It's like there's more of a visibility of it, and you know, it's also crazy to think like people are like trying to step on that and like trying to recloset that or put that. And it's like, man, you can't put the genie back in the bottle. Like people are aware of these things now, and people are going to experiment with stuff, and that can also be a thing too. I think that like, you know, the way that's now is the same way of sexuality, where people have the ability to kind of maybe they try this and it works for them and they go down this path, or maybe they try this and that was okay, but that's not for me, and they move on to something else, and that's all good.
Yeah,
Across the
fluidity
board.
is generally quite a good thing.
Yeah, and
especially when you're still exploring yourself. And figuring out
exactly,
who
and
you
you're
are.
trying to figure out who you are. Yeah,
Yeah.
And I think that's another that's another thing of like you see that culturally too with people that like everybody knew that kid in high school that like they were a hippie for 6 months, and then they were the metalhead guy for 6 months, and then they got into hip hop for 6 months, and they were just like they're just trying to figure out who they are, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Hippie into punk kid.
Yeah.
They get naked.
Yeah.
That's the center of the Venn diagram.
The naked guy. Yeah. Yeah, very much so.
I like the idea of you with a history podcast. I think you should look into that a little bit more.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Think about it. Have you ever had a historian on the show? Yeah.
I don't.
A history buff. That might be a fun one.
Have I had a historian on the show? I'm sure. I don't know if I've had anybody who's like an academic historian, but I've had people that are very knowledgeable, and there's like I would say that like the Chris Rice episode where he came on to talk about skateboarding, I would consider him a historian of skateboarding at this point.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very much so.
I keep thinking back to the pivotal moment in your podcast with Mark Borison. Is it Mark Borison?
Borison, yeah.
Where you guys were talking about the moment when jiggle physics were introduced into video games.
Jiggle physics were important.
If you guys go back to that episode, check out Tank's JFK impression. Again, you could just think about how you could bring that into the podcast. It would be so perfect. I don't know. I've got a dream.
Okay.
So we're really winding down at this point, but
Okay.
what are you the most proud of that you've done with this?
I don't know. I just like having the show. I like the show. That's really it. I'm not. That just seems. That seems very loaded. I'm not good at accepting praise. So this is one of those moments where I'm bad at accepting praise
From yourself.
or anybody. I'm not.
You've been pretty gracious.
I'm here to do work, and that is it. And I am doing the thing that I am meant to labor and do. So when somebody like says something like that, I'm just like, oh fuck, this is weird. I gotta like be in touch with myself and my feelings. It's way easier if you ask me what I'm fucking up, then I can give you a laundry list. And
well, we know that from listening to you crack on your opening segments, which really are not bad.
I
don't know why.
I fucking hate the opening segment.
Listeners,
It's so bad.
Can you like gas him up a little bit
It's
on these opening segments?
so
It's like
weird.
It's almost like your bit is that you're bad at it.
It's really bad. I don't know how to open the show.
You like do your opening bit expecting to fail the way that George Costanza like both expects to win and fail with women.
I got to watch more Rogan and just see what Rogan's doing.
I guess.
Obviously, that's
He's
the take.
clearly opening up with sound bites,
Yeah,
like
he's
I
doing
did.
something right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just bring back bring back a great sound bite.
Just Rogan it. Yeah,
Right.
that'll make it totally worthwhile and good. Yeah, I don't know. No, I really just like having the show, and I like doing it, and I like talking to people. I just hope it continues to grow. I mean, that's really what I want to do. I'm just one man out here in a sea of podcasts, and just it really does mean a lot when people listen to the show and they share it with friends. And I love when I get DMs from people and stuff, and people talk about it and want to like talk to me about stuff about the show. And I just hope it keeps growing. It's something that I just really enjoy doing and would like to, see some success with and continue forward with it. Just get to keep talking to people and get to keep learning stuff.
I think you get good content out of people. Like I notice that you have a way of, through clarifying questions and inquisitiveness especially, I feel like you have a way of disarming some of the beauty queen answers and getting people into more of the light and dark side, the joy and the dark side of like what they do.
Yeah.
And everything has a little shadow on it, and it's more interesting and beautiful for the contrast. So I think you're going pretty deep with people, regardless of whether you know the subject matter or not.
I try, yeah. No, that's what I want to do. I want to try to get as in depth as I can, and just learn like what it is, and just what is the attraction, why they're doing it, why they're collecting it, what is the thing that brings them interest or happiness because of this experience.
I don't sense that you're deliberately running any experimentation of like something that you think to be true against what you're doing with your guests. And I think that serves you well too. You're casually collecting guests in some ways, even though you have a clear like idea of what is interesting to people, or sorry, what might be like good and appropriate and interesting to your audiences. And therefore you like carefully construct the order of your podcast so that the content feels like not fatiguing for one thing or the other. But I think the openness just leaves you free to continue to follow the rabbit holes of where this leads you. And I like it. You know, I think it's going in a cool direction. So
Nice.
to do a Tank Mansfield ending, what is next for you?
I'm just gonna keep doing the show. I'm gonna keep booking guests. Like I said,
Not going to stop.
No.
Okay.
I
Do you
don't.
have a number that you're hoping to get to?
No. It's just it's just gonna go on infinitely at this point.
Will there be more autobiographical pods?
I don't know.
I thought the was it N60? No, it was PlayStation. Didn't you do a PlayStation one that was a solo?
Oh, I did. So the two solo shows I've done was
Tattoos.
one was all my tattoos in chronological order, and the other one was every video game system I ever owned.
Yeah.
And so it was just solo. I don't. Those episodes were made out of necessity. One was made because of COVID, and the other was made. I forget why. I just
I
couldn't.
feel like a guest had to cancel.
Yeah, something happened
Yeah.
where I lost a guest for a week, and so I just needed to fill something in. Yeah, I don't think. Those are episodes that happened out of necessity. Like I just needed to fill a week, and I needed to put an episode out just to keep the streak going. So I'm not going to say they won't ever happen again in the future, but those are also my least favorite episodes to do.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I thought the tattoo one was a lot of fun. Actually, like I said, I loved the gaming system episode. I thought that was, again, you're so strong with like telling the plot of video games, telling the plot of movies, telling the plot of pop culture, but wrestling arcs. Like just one time, listeners, I asked Tank. I decided I wanted to be Macho Man for Halloween, and Tank was like, which Macho Man? And I was like, educate me. And then he's puts on wrestling historian hat and just gave me reference photos with explanations. So if you ever need a wrestling costume curated either for Petamania or for your own devices, you can always go to Tank.
We'll make sure.
Probably to Pete too. But yeah.
100%. I will say I would like to expand the show to get bigger guests. That's definitely something that is something I would like to do, because I know that one thing I run into is sometimes people will say oh, it's just like you and your friends, or oh, it's just like a Cincinnati podcast, and it's not. It's not a Cincinnati podcast. Cincinnati is where I live, so it's where I can pull my guests from. But it's not like every fucking episode is oh, the Reds and Skyline Chili. That's not what it is. It's about something people are into. So I do want to expand and talk to people from other cities.
Cool.
And get their perspective. And I would also like to book bigger guests. I think that's another thing I would like to do, is to start being able to reach out to people to have, stand-up comedians, or, people in bands, or just people that are a little bigger, that to show their fan base a different side of them. I think that would be very cool. It's not going to happen, but I think it'd be cool to sit down with Czarface, for example, and just talk to him. Well, okay, so talk to them, not him, because it's multiple people to make Czarface. But anyways, but you know what I'm saying, listener. Be able to get somebody that's maybe Matt Pike from Sleep or something like that, where it's hey, you're known for being this amazing guitar player that's in, Sleep and High on Fire, but let's talk about this collection that you're super into.
That's awesome.
And get that side of you. That,
Very cool
that's
angle.
that's ideally where I would like to get. I would like to get to a point where I could interview people that I am a fan of what they do, but then see what they enjoy.
Yeah, that's a really interesting approach. I think that could be a very good hook.
No.
we'll have to figure out how you get to them or get them to you.
That's true. Yeah, that'd be awesome. But yeah.
There's ideas. I got some ideas.
If I could do that, I always think of in the terms of like there's this
so
podcast called "Are You Garbage," and "Are You Garbage" is awesome. It's fucking god damn it. I'm blanking on both their names right now as I pop their podcast. M Foley and god damn it. Hold on.
Are you garbage?
Are you garbage? So it's H Foley and Kevin Ryan. That's who it is. Yeah. So they host this comedy podcast called Are You Garbage, where every episode they bring on a different stand-up comedian and they sit them down and they ask them like what their life was like growing up. And
nice.
And so it's always
cool.
Yeah, it's stuff like do you have a beer? Do you have a refrigerator in your garage?
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Right.
Or
telling questions that give you like a picture of somebody.
Yeah.
That goes beyond their celebrity persona.
Were you a family that you didn't have tongs for like the ice bucket? Things like that. Just are you garbage?
We did not have an ice bucket at all.
Yeah. So so to get to that level of being able to interview people in kind of this niche way, would be a lot of fun. That's the ultimate goal of the podcast.
That's an awesome idea. I love that. I really hope that happens for you. But yeah, let's figure out how to do that. What else do you want to cover, man? We've gone pretty deep. We've gone to the anthropology of you and a little bit of the anthropology of the podcast, and done a decent recap of what's happened.
I really want to interview somebody who has a I want to interview somebody that has like an encompassing collection. So that when I think of that, I think of like those people that they collect everything Simpsons or they collect everything Disney, and because or like South Park or Kiss, like
a completist.
Yes, like because there are some things in America, Coca-Cola, or in the world where they have branded everything and you can buy everything.
Yes.
And people collect that. So I really want to talk to one of those people at some point. I really want to talk to them. I also want to talk to somebody who collects full size replicas of stuff from sci-fi and horror movies. So like I found this dude online. It's a really cool video, and this dude has over 300 movie props in his collection, and I don't know if I don't know if it's like a guest house or if it's like a its own apartment or what the fuck it is, but this guy like records through this like 2-bedroom apartment, and the entire, including the kitchen, is just completely covered in movie prop stuff. So and he has like stuff from Terminator, he has stuff from Aliens. He like legit has like one of the aliens from Alien.
Is he in LA or is he somewhere else?
I have no clue. Yeah. Damn. Yeah. And but he has like a legit like alien like in the like he has it bolted to the ceiling as you walk up the steps to go into the place. And like again, just like he has like a full size Predator. He's got like all sorts of like movie prop guns that are on the wall and shit, like full size heads, bust. It's incredible. So I would really like to talk to one of those people. I'd really like to have that conversation of being able to collect on that sort of level where you're moving major money around. And and I would also like to talk to people with like major money collections. I think that's also like I would really like to talk to somebody about like cars, like a Jay Leno type character where it's like, oh, I have like 60 cars. It's like, all right, let's talk about that. Like,
oh yeah,
why the fuck do you feel the need to have a Ferrari that's like $500,000 and go,
right?
And having that conversation.
Where does that passion come from?
Yeah, I'm always
fascinating.
I'm always interested in like the high dollar collections. I always think that is because you can get into that side of it, and depending on what you're collecting, there definitely is like that elite level, that premium level of collecting.
Yeah.
Like I've always wanted to like talk to somebody who had like a guitar collection, like a sizable guitar collection. I think that'd be cool to talk about. And just get in there and have that conversation.
Did you have one with Mark, a guitar collection?
Yeah, Boris,
but not a big one.
Yeah, not a big one. Yeah,
we're talking about like hundreds of guitars.
Yeah. I would like to talk to somebody who has a sizable, expensive collection, no matter what the genre of that collection is. But I would like to talk to somebody who is putting down some serious coin for that collection. I think that would be a fun episode.
You often ask about ceiling, so it feels like it would be cool to see a level that is beyond the ceiling
beyond
of
the ceiling,
the typical collector you're talking to.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
because those guys aren't not the folks that you're talking to now are not casual collectors necessarily, but their ceiling is much a different ballpark.
Right, they're everyday people. Yeah, I want to talk to somebody who's like a CEO of something who has a lot of fuck around money and is like, yeah, I just buy this, and that's what they collect.
We're gonna explore range.
Yeah,
yeah. That's cool, man.
I would like to talk about that.
Those are awesome ideas. I'm looking forward to what comes next with What You Into.
I'm looking forward to it too. It's always fun. It's always a good time, So I'm looking forward to having you back on the show. Get you in the Four Horsemen Club.
Here's hoping.
Get you on the Ric Flair tier.
Yep, I think I could. I'll have to think about what movie complex I can contribute on. I feel very strongly. I like the Spider-Man franchise, so like that's one where I think I could jam in. This is a funny one. Oceans, like the Oceans complex, like those are pretty rad.
You like the Oceans films?
Yeah, so I could do the Oceans franchise, or we'll find some other fandom, I'm sure.
I do know that at some point, I'm not sure when we're going to book it, but it is going to happen. Giles Chickering is going to come back on, and we're going to talk about the entire Fast and the Furious franchise.
That's awesome. That was, you guys did have a good starting conversation about that. He was one of the people that you really explored your horny nostalgia for Britney Spears. Let's hear that real quick, just before we...
Are you following her on Instagram right now?
I always keep tabs on Britney. I'm always keeping an eye on her, making sure that she's doing all right.
I'm a mix of scared and nostalgically horny.
It's
I still am.
I've been in love with her my entire life. I'm gonna be there to support her no matter what happens. So.
If she came to you now with everything that's going on and she said I need to settle down with a man.
Same question.
Not even settle down. I would say, Britney, take me for a ride. Let me see how crazy a couple years in Britney Spears' life is.
You're ready to be a modern day Kevin Federline?
Not even, dude. Like let's just fall in love and see what happens.
See where it goes.
Yeah.
We're going to let that one play us out, folks.
How did you have that in how did you know I was going to bring up Giles?
Because he was hilarious. Like, that was a really great podcast.
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed it.
Giles is great. I can't wait to have him back on the show. And yes, I am very worried about Britney, but she's still hot.
She is still hot. So I'm Sarah Bombtrack Lima. You can find me on Instagram at Bombtrack. And Tank?
Anthony Tank Mansfield. You can find me on Instagram at KneelToNoOne or online at KneelToNoOne.com.
All right, folks. Thanks for listening. We are out.
Peace.
Peace.